This is not an ad. It's a warning. I know a place. A place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. That will enter through those cracks and will stay and live in you. Run. Run. No, better stay in Manhattan. Get an apartment in Berlin. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Don't listen to the poets who have been here. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Lord Nieve. Ay. But in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Za 3 minuty zaczynamy rywalizację. W ostatnim dniu zawodów rywalizacja mężczyzn, juniorów w jedynkach.
So, hello everyone! Sunday in Gdansk, last day of our 2024 European Rowing Coastal and Beach Sprint Championships. My name is Peter Kroll from Poland. Alongside me, David Husay from Ireland. Hello, David!
Peter, how are you? And congratulations, you pronounced my surname as it would be pronounced in Irish, Husay. So you are really getting the hang of the Irish language.
I've tried, I've did my best. I'm fine, I'm looking forward for very interesting races. Beach Sprint today. New Olympic discipline that's gonna be taken in LA 2028. We're looking forward for fast, quick and very dynamic races, aren't we?
So the beauty of beach sprint racing, as you know, is that the weather conditions can change from event to event. So here we have a very challenging crosswind. The crews will be kind of take it on their bow quarter heading out and on the stern quarter coming in. So it's really challenging for these crews today in the morning. And we see our first couple of athletes just getting ready for their starters orders.
Yeah, in the lane 2 representing Spain, Andreas Washington Aguilar Bedon. In the lane 2 representing Portugal, Thomas Neves. 1 minute to start. It's under 19 men's solo. As we spoke before the broadcast went live, line 2, the closer to the pier, is better choice for today's race, as the waves maybe are not big, but the wind is strong. It's about 30 kilometers per hour right now.
That's correct, Peter. The wind is strong. It's very strong out there at the marks. You can even see a bit of white water out there. So, and you can see the handlers just down the beach there. They are working very hard to keep those boats straight for the athletes. They're under starters orders. There's maybe 40 seconds. So we can see the first starting sequence of the day just about to take place.
Ready.
But we can see those handlers down there on the beach working very hard to point the bows of the boat straight.
Yeah, the boat handlers are already in the water. The first athletes are on the starting line, getting prepared. Last couple of seconds before our start. The flag went up and went down, and they started. The Spanish international seems to start a little bit quicker. We're gonna see if we're gonna reach the boat first.
Yeah, that was a very fast exit from the start line by the Spanish athlete.
Yeah, and few first strokes are very important to start that rowing to get that fast. So as we see now, slightly in the front is Spaniard, as we now can see, Aguilar in front of Neves.
So Spain has definitely taken out a good lead of maybe a length already at the first part of this race. Both athletes are handling the conditions extremely well. These are very challenging conditions. They now have to swing the bows of their singles into that headwind to try and get out for that second mark.
Yeah, we're gonna see how they handle the second boy, the left-hand side one. That is, they're gonna fight across that wind. That will be difficult.
And I think we see as they come around that mark, I think Spain has taken a nice tight line and has probably gained maybe half a length on that rounding. So it is advantage Spain at the moment as they come for that all-important rounding.
Yeah, Aguila is in front, but we're gonna see how he can handle that spin around the third void. It's very, very tricky, very, very important technical part. How you can deal with that, with the waves, and find that straight line to the shore.
I think that Portugal appears to have a bit more speed coming into the mark there. He
But
really
I think
picked up the
Aguila
pace.
had some troubles, get too close to the boy. We're gonna see in a while from the drone, in the picture from the drone, who is first. The Neves is already on the course to the beach, few strokes. Yeah, and Neves made that better. He maintained more speed. I think he is in the better angle. But look at that, how the wind is, how he have to fight against the wind. How he's not going straight, but slightly to his left-hand side, right-hand side. Sorry.
And these two athletes are doing phenomenally well in these conditions. Very strong, obviously, both of them, strong men. And it seems that even though Portugal had the advantage there at the rounding and had pulled out ahead, like you say, there was a slight little error maybe, but it looks now like Spain is coming back into it as they come for the finish.
Yeah, for now Neves in front, but they are really, really close to each other. So about feeling that wave, feeling that water, if the Aguila gonna find that wave for himself, they're gonna change everything in a second.
I think Spain is in a fantastic position here. If he can straighten his boat and point it towards the pier, he will have the wind right behind him and bring him straight in. I think he's adjusting now, and he seems to be up on top of a wave. So I think it could be advantage.
And
Portugal again at the beach.
as we've seen in the start, the Aguila was, I think, faster at the sprint through the beach. We're gonna see in a while. Neves out on the dismount point, done it clean, very, very nicely.
Yes.
And around the flag, and we still don't see Aguila, so the Neves, Thomas Neves from Portugal, 2 minutes 51 seconds. Very, very nice time.
That is very impressive time for a junior athlete in these conditions, and full credit to both athletes who handled the conditions easily. They made it look easy. So well done to Portugal, who are taking up that last spot now in the quarterfinals for later on in the day, and also very well done to Spain as well on a fine performance.
Yeah, fine performance, very interesting race we started today. Thomas Neves going further to the next stage. Aguila unfortunately did not make it. Now we are looking forward for our next start. It will be again under 19, but women on the Irish, O'Sullivan and Marta Karlsson from Sweden. We're gonna see how the girls gonna line up, who gonna pick up the, as we spoke, better line, that's line 2, closer to the pier, but Neves having that more difficult, as we thought, more difficult line, made it and finished in very, very nice time.
Yes, I think Neves just had that boat speed. You could see at parts of the race on the straight he seemed to have more boat speed, which gave him the lead. But for the next race now, which is the final slot in the quarters of the ladies under 19, we have Sive O'Sullivan from Ireland has chosen the lane closer to the pier. Or sorry, the other way around. It is Sweden. Marta Karlsson has chosen the outside lane 1, and Sive O'Sullivan goes off in lane 2.
Yeah, I think the most important part of this race that we witnessed it a few whiles ago was the third boy, the spin around. That Neves seems to be in better position for that. He done it better than Aguila. He maintained more speed, found a better angle on the beach, and made it until the end. Caught that wave that helped him to leave the boat as first and cross the finish line first.
Yeah, I think he did really well on that navigation, and like I said, they made it look easy is the best way to put it, because those conditions out there in a single, a double maybe not so much when you have two people, but in a single it is very difficult to hold a line, and they were able to hold a fantastic line, both athletes, on the way in and on the way out.
And as we can see, we are in Poland, in Gdansk. Very beautiful scenario, beautiful city, beautiful show beautiful long beach, as David mentioned. He was commentating alongside me on Friday endurance and competed into earning a silver medal as a cox in women quad squad.
Yes, the coxing is nice. You just have to sit there and keep speaking or shouting, depending on how the race is going. But we're very happy with that performance. It was a very strong field. We had the Netherlands crew, who were worthy champions. They've been in Poland for the last week in Poznan for the World Cup, and also we had a fantastic performance from the Polish crew as well. But there are no quads in this event here, just singles and doubles. And we see there the wind appears to have just picked up a slight bit more as the morning is going on.
And how you gonna compare the conditions that were on Friday when you were taking a part in a race to the conditions that are today on the water? They are more challenging or similar to that what you had on Friday?
I think the big difference here today is that there's not so much of a big sea swell, and there's more wind. And as any athlete that's rowing coastal will tell you, they'd much rather massive swell and less wind rather than the other way around. So we'll see how these junior 19 women cope with the conditions now. It's going to be a big test for them today, big change from yesterday. But after seeing the junior 19 men, I think they will be well able for these conditions.
Yeah, we're gonna see in a while. On yesterday's time trials, we have seen strong high waves on the end that caused some troubles for the athletes. I think later that day, as I was watching the forecast, the wind may change, the waves gonna be bigger, so they can cause some troubles on the last about 10 to 15 meters. It is very easy. You need to be focused all the time to not let wave put your boat sideways.
Yes, I think that is the big change for today, that the swell has dropped a little bit. Like you say, the last 15-20 meters, and if you're coming in surfing the wave, you're doing fine. But if it picks it up too much and throws it sideways, then you have a real risk of a capsize, or maybe trying to get onto the beach and get out of the boat. But I think that risk is not there at the moment. It seems to be reasonably easy to get out of the boat at the beach. So it's, as we said earlier, the beach handlers are really having to work hard, the boat handlers, to keep the boats pointed in the right direction, because the wind is trying to pull the bows of the boat around and into the middle of the course or into the pier if you're over here in lane 2.
Yeah, a little bit cloudy, a little bit windy weather. So I think you, as an Irishman, you feel like at home.
This is just like home. It is like home in summer or winter time. We have the same season all year round in Ireland.
Yeah, so about a minute to start second race. On the line number 1, representing Sweden, Marta Karlsson. On the line number 2, Salve O'Sullivan from Ireland. We're gonna see how the girls gonna start. The countdown is ready. The girls are ready. The boat handlers are already in the water, waiting for the athletes.
Yeah, and we can see there the Irish boat handlers have pointed the boat right out at a 45-degree angle into the wind, which is very good thinking. Make sure that when Sive gets into the boat, she has the boat pointed in the right direction, and she doesn't have to fight for 3 strokes to straighten it.
Yeah, it is very important that how you enter the boat the first 1 or 2 strokes. And they started. I think Irish got faster.
Yeah,
O'Sullivan
Sive is definitely a faster runner, and she is down very cleanly into the boat.
Clean the boat, catch the blades already, and we're gonna see a few strokes. First few strokes, but I think they are even. I think Sweden is slightly about a meter or half a meter in front. I think O'Sullivan struggled for some reasons with the blades.
That's right, yeah, definitely Sive O'Sullivan was faster on the run, very fast runner, but I think Sweden was able to get maybe 2 or 3 very strong strokes in the start and get herself underway. So Sweden has pulled out maybe a half a length, I would say, Peter, a half a length on Sive O'Sullivan, but it's a long way to go.
Yeah, they are past first boy on the right hand side, the second is left hand side. Gonna see who gonna find a better angle. Look how far is O'Sullivan right now. I think she lost some time on it because the Sweden got a better angle, better navigation to the second boy.
Yeah, so Marta rode her boat well out into the wind, and she's letting the wind bring her back in around the mark now, which is very good navigating also. Sive has taken the bike closer though and has just clipped it with a blade, which will cost her maybe half a length.
Her advantage some bigger. I think it's not a meter, but not about a length or boat also. But as we've seen in the previous race, the spin on the third boy can change a lot. The finding that wave, because the spin is very, very tricky one. This is, as we spoke, the waves on the last 20 meters are tricky. You need to be careful, but on this now on this position, you are looking for this wave to catch up, to sit on top of it, to gives you that speed boost.
Yes, this is this like you say, the speed boost on the way home. You want to get the boat up in that wave quickly. Sweden seems to have rounded
beautifully done by Swedish,
and Sive O'Sullivan is also rounding, heading for home. But Sweden have a clear advantage at this stage.
Yeah, O'Sullivan went very, very wide on that. I think she is struggling with this strong wind. We see on the shore the waves maybe are not big, but farther in the sea, yeah, huge advantage from the Marta Karlsson from Sweden. For now, we're gonna see. I think she is not gonna give it up. I think she is on the right now on the second buoy, so about a halfway through about this last 250 meters straight line to the beach, and after that about 30 maybe 40 meters run to the finish line.
Yeah, we see Marta there. She's looking around. She knows she's out in front. She knows she just has to bring it home, and she's rowing very strongly, very long rowing, very powerful athlete.
A very nice straight line to the dismount point. I think she's gonna land it perfectly near the flag.
Yeah, so she's on her last 85 meters to go now, but she's slowed the rate way down so she doesn't have any mistakes. She's doing everything correctly. She's probably rating maybe, looks like 24, 26 strokes a minute, but that's the right thing to do when you know you're in front and you know all you have to do is come home. And also it's a good thing to conserve energy for later in the day as well. So she's doing everything correctly, but there's a slight sideways turn, but she is corrected.
Yeah, but she did it very nicely. She dealt with that wave coming in, and very nice, very clear landing. And the last meters, and she's gonna make it. We're gonna see what her time is, because I think we're gonna witness another great race, great time on it.
That was a very, very good performance by Marta. Very mature to handle the weather, the conditions, the navigation. And Sive O'Sullivan is coming in, another young athlete starting off in beach sprinting. So on her first day out, did very well on the first day in the water. And she's just coming for the dismount. And as we said, there's rowing, there's sprinting. Sive is very fast at running as well too, as we saw on the run down. And she's coming up here now to finish off her race. And very well done to both athletes to handle those challenging conditions so well.
Yeah, challenging condition. Marta Karlsson makes it to the next stage, to the next part. O'Sullivan is unfortunately not, but I think both athletes are very, very young, so every start, every experience they gain on the European Championship, international start, is gonna be worth in the future.
That's right, they're only 16, these athletes, and it is a J19 event, so it's fantastic to see what we will have maybe in 2-3 years time when they're 18, 19, rowing in these events with that amount of experience behind them.
Yeah, as we've seen, Marta Karlsson from Sweden, as long as she's young, but she seems to feel that water. She dealt very, very nicely with the spin, with the waves on her way back, on the landings. Everything was, I think, her race was nearly perfect.
Oh, I think so. She faced all the challenges and dealt with them easily. You know, she just made it look easy again. So we've had two very good displays by the J19 men and the J19 women, handling these conditions and make it look like they have practiced a lot in these conditions. I think that's the key here. They're not just athletes who have came from, say, flat water only and then have tried coastal. It's obvious that they have had some practice in these boats and these conditions as well.
Yeah, now we are waiting for the third start of today's day. The Costa Women's Soul, now we are moving to the elite races. Let's look at what the lines they picked. On the second line, representing Great Britain, Claire Jamieson. On the line number 1, we're gonna see Mihala Popsilova from Czechia. So we're looking forward how it's gonna look like, because the wind is getting, I think, a bit stronger. It's a bit cold today, but the girls seems to be ready, really, really focused as they are waiting to be asked to approach that start line. I think that's gonna happen in a while.
Yeah, we see the start line officials there working hard to make sure that the buzzers are in place and the line is square. There's a bit of work involved in maintaining the beach sprint course as the day goes along. So these two athletes who are about to take part in the first of the women's um, last 16s. Claire Jameson is well known on the coastal circuit, a medalist at previous events, loads of experience, extremely strong athlete as well too. So she has picked the lane near the pier, which would give her the advantage as you come in from the last mark.
But as we spoke, the lane 2 near the pier is better one. But in both previous races, athlete from the lane 2 picked that spot in the next stage. So we're gonna see what the scenario gonna happen now. The last countdown, the athletes are already on the start. Boats are in the water, handlers are holding them tight to get that better angle on the start.
Yes, and we have to say this competition has started incredibly well. The officials and the course maintenance has been perfection, and it is running as smooth as clockwork.
And the flag went up. And they started, I think, very, very evenly, slightly in front, representing Czechia, Mihala Popsilova.
Czechia is definitely in the boat first. We can see there that she will be maybe 2 seconds ahead of Claire Jameson in the boat, and Czechia is away, but a slight bit of an issue with feet.
But she missed the blade, she lost control of it, so the Claire Jameson, doing it slightly better, put herself in advantage of about half a length on the round to the first turning board for the first buoy. Now it's gonna be crucial that navigation, who got a better angle. I think the Claire is going a bit widely, but Popsilova is doing very, very well too on the way to the second buoy.
Yeah, and it was just unlucky there with Michaela there at the start. She just couldn't get her feet in, and that gave Claire Jameson the advantage. As we said earlier, Claire's a very powerful athlete. She was able to get off 1 or 2 powerful strokes, and that has given her the advantage she has at the moment of maybe about a length, I would say.
I think Popsilova is very struggling to get, and she missed.
She has missed. So unfortunately, she will suffer a penalty of I think it's 30 seconds for missing those pencil marks. But Claire is powering ahead independently.
Yeah. So another scenario, as we said, the lane 2 seems to be easier to be better choice. For now, representing Great Britain, Claire Jameson in front on the spin around very, very nicely done. She maintained a lot of speed on that spin, and 1-2 strokes. She's getting a nice straight line towards the beach, towards the dismount point.
Yeah, and you can even see there Claire is coming home, but she is still trying to get the boat straight and pointed for home. But she will know that she's in a strong position now, and she will, again, like Marta for Sweden, she will probably bring down the stroke and conserve energy for the quarterfinals later on in the day.
Yeah, 30 years of age, Claire Jameson is experienced more than Popsilova, being that 24 years of age, and we can see that. So Claire done again nearly perfect race, being a little bit in the back after the running through the beach, but she done better on entering the boat. She found that first 2 or 3 strokes getting her up front.
Yeah, I think that she's her definite advantage over other athletes is on the water. She's extremely powerful, and we can see her coming inside the last mark now and getting ready for the home stretch. So all she has to do from here in is just keep the boat coming straight and make sure that the boat does not go sideways at the beach, and she has a nice exit.
Yeah, and remember that Popsilova missed that second turning point. She's gonna be penalized for that. So I think that we can say it now. Claire Jameson making herself to the next stage as perfect landing. Look at that. She's gonna get a nice straight line to the finish, and now she is running.
Yeah, she will run nice and steady. No need to do anything out of ordinary. Just run, hit the buzzer, and relax.
On it, save some power for the next races.
Yeah, it's such a power sport that you only have so many powers in you for the day. So it's really important that if you are leading and if you have 3 or 4 lengths of a lead, that you just conserve and bring it down as much as you can.
So the both athletes from the start, number 3, Claire Jameson from Great Britain, saving her spot in next stage. And we're gonna see her later on. Popsilova from Czechia, unfortunately didn't make it. She had trouble on the second turning point, lost that buoy, and unfortunately maybe next time for now we are looking forward another start of the women solo. We're gonna see in a while. I'm gonna take a look in the lane 2. You're gonna see Martina Kajic from Croatia. in the lane number 1, Elizabeth Keller from the Denmark.
Yeah, and that experience will stand to future events. I see there with the coming into that second pencil marker, she was probably heading straight for it and didn't factor the wind which was blowing across. So when you're heading for that second marker, you definitely have to oversteer dramatically to make sure that you go the other side of it and don't clip it with the blade or miss it, which may happen.
Yeah, as I said previously, the wind is about 30 kilometers per hour, and I think that its direction of the wind is constantly changing, and we can see as the waves maybe are not big near the shore, but as we've seen in previous races, the athletes are struggling on about that second, maybe third buoy. The wind must be strong. They have to fight really strongly to make that good angle to make that turns correctly.
Yes, and like we say, the waves are not the issue, it's the wind, so navigation is crucial. You have to oversteer so much on the way out to make sure that you're not going to clip that second pencil mark.
And if the wind is not enough, it started to rain, but I think they are not afraid of the water until they know how to swim. It's I found it very funny when I heard that you can swim actually, and doing rowing for quite a long time for now.
Yes, it's on my to-do list. I must find a swimming coach somewhere who can fill me in on this last piece of detail.
Yeah, as the athletes are now on the starting line, waiting for the signal to start.
So we have Croatia is on the near side closest to us beside the pier, and Denmark on the outside.
And they started. I think Croatian international did it slightly better.
And it looks like we have Denmark is into the boat, but it looks like Croatia is away quicker. Just a bit of a time there for Denmark to get their feet in.
But very nice, strong push from the Denmark. I think she's slightly in front right now after that few strokes.
And we can see down on the beach there, we can see the Croatian boat handlers are using hand signals to steer their athlete into the pencil mark, because the wind is carrying her into the pier, so she must oversteer. And it looks like, from our point of view here, it looks like that Croatia might have a slight lead, rowing very strongly, but angling her boat way out now to counteract the wind. I think she is counteracting the wind a bit better than the Denmark sculler.
Yeah, Denmark on the line number 1 is going wide. She's now making some corrections towards the buoy 2. I think that Croatia is already approaching. So Croatia, I think, from our point of view, is about our length also up in front, going towards the buoy number 3, the spin, this handbrake turn.
Yeah, that was very well done there by Croatia on that second pencil mark. Literally a foot between the blade and the pencil mark, and just flashed past it. And now I think Denmark has came a slight bit of trouble there with the navigation.
How far from the buoy she is, how
is
wide she's gonna take it. She lost her course, definitely. Poor navigation for her, or maybe she cannot deal with that strong wind going on.
Yeah, I think it's the conditions are really catching her there, because you could see the blades up and down. I think Croatia has taken advantage though and is pulling home and navigating into the middle of the course.
Look at that, representing Denmark on the line 1, nearly stopped for a while, making that spin as the Croatia is already on her way home, having nice straight line. She's locked up. She has locked up on that way, on that flag, on her spot.
Yes, and you can see her pathway home is through the middle of the course, so should any wind pick her up and push her sideways, she's safely away from those finger buoys and not going to clip them with the oars on the way in. So I think, again, it looks like Croatia's settled down, strong, solid rowing and very good navigation also.
Yeah, very nice race for her so far. I think she's about 3 or 4 even lengths from our point of view. It's hard to say that, because we are having some troubles in our broadcast. So as we stood up, took the microphones and went outside of our commentary box, looking what's going on. Croatia is making few corrections. She is now on the last straight line, about I think 30 meters to the landing point. Huge, yes. massive lead over the Denmark international on lane 2. And look at that, another perfect navigation, perfect landing next to the flag.
Yeah, she did that very well. And obviously another girl that has done a lot of training in this beach sprint event, and she comes up the beach, pretty fast runner as well too, not easy to run in the soft sand, but a very good performance.
And representing Croatia, Marina Kajs saving her spot in next stage. As now Elisabeth Keller from the Denmark is approaching the shore. She dismounted nicely, making her run to the finish line. Very, very strong run for her. She's still fighting. She doesn't give up. That's what I really, really like in beach sprints, in endurance, in rowers. They are fighting until the end. We had beautiful example of that, to fight until the end in the men's. It was mixed on endurance when Binka on the lead for almost whole rowing part. Joel representing Finland mixed was landed badly off the fences that gave a chance to the French mix, and they made it. They secured that gold medal on the last meters, on the last run on the beach.
Yes, it's a big feature of the beach sprints that you never give up, because you never know what's going to happen. You could be anything 5-6 lengths behind coming home, but all it takes is one oar to get struck, one boat to go sideways, and next thing you know, you have a chance to reverse the position you're in.
Exactly, one wave can change anything, as we can clearly see if you watch that on YouTube from World Cup finals, when Miron Quiroga found that wave that helped him on his way home. But now we are moving to the third start of today's elite woman, Maria Toczek, representing Poland. So I'm looking for her, especially on the lane number 1. On the lane 2, representing Finland, Tia Maria Rutola.
Yes, and Tia, as you spoke about,
look how relaxed she is for now. Tia.
She has been at this coastal for a year or two now, so she has a bit of experience, and experience counts for an awful lot. But I know that you will be shouting for lane 1.
Yeah,
so
a little bit. Yeah, she made a fast start.
Yeah, so we have a recall. So the rules are, unfortunately, you have a yellow card for a false start, but you go again. But 2 yellow cards means a disqualification. So Maria will just have to be really careful on her next start now to make sure that she doesn't stop the line again.
Yeah, Maria is very young, Kathleen, 20 years of age this year, and we see she's a bit nervous. She's trying to get that start timed perfectly and get that advantage on the run, and we see now.
Yeah, and Maria did very well there. She just held back a little bit. It might have cost her maybe a half a second, but it was the right thing to do to make sure she didn't incur a second card. So very well done by Maria, who's in the boat and rowing.
Yeah, first few strokes are very, very important. We are looking forward for the picture from the drone. Where is Tia Maria Rutola representing Finland? Because we don't know for now who is up front. Look how struggling is Maria Toczek on lane 1. She's fighting very, very, very strongly with the way she needs to do a lot of corrections to make that second turning point. But she's, I think, on the right way. You're gonna see it's gonna be tight one.
I know you'll be happy with this, Peter. Maria, it looks like Maria is in front and is just navigating around that second marker.
I think she's gonna lose a lot of speed because she needs to now make a very, very sharp turn towards the buoy number 3.
I think that she is probably hoping that the wind will bring her back in, and I think she's got that right. The wind seems to be now pushing her across the lane, so she has done very well to use the wind to her advantage, and I think she has a lead with that navigation.
But Rutola is not far away. She's more experienced one. We're gonna see how they're gonna deal with that sprinter. Rutola going wildly. She's gonna try to maintain some speed before that going home.
And Peter, is looking very good for your countrywoman. Maria is safely navigating around that last mark, and she has definitely a lead of maybe 2 lengths, I would say, at this stage, and rowing very
Maria,
strongly.
representing Poland, already having a nice straight line. Few strokes, and she is on it. She is on the last straight line to the beach, to the shore. But Rutola is right after her. I think it's about a length or so. So still a lot of can happen on the last meters. It can be tricky if you catch the wrong wave, put it sideways. Still, we are still looking forward. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, and Maria is working very hard there for Poland. She's now in the middle of the marks, unfortunately. So she has to come either right or left of that pencil mark in front, because you don't want to clip that with a blade just on the way home. She's about maybe 2 lengths advantage, maybe 2 to 3 lengths, but it's not enough to be fully safe yet.
Yeah, as we can clearly see, Maria having some trouble. She's struggling with this wind strongly. She's putting from left to the right as a Maria from the Finland is going very, very nice straight line, but Maria from Poland on lane 1 is very, very heavily on front. She's about I think 10 meters. She's gonna dismount in a while.
Yes, Tia Maria, she just caught a marker there with the blade just on the last way, and so that's cost her a bit of speed. But it looks like Maria's coming home for Poland. She will be making the last 8, and she will be very happy with her performance.
Yeah, she's very, very happy. Maria Tocek on the finish line, making herself a spot in the next stage. As we spoke, very, very young athlete, so she is very, very happy about that. And going, Tia Maria Rautoa from Finland securing that second place.
Yes, and I think Maria Tocek for Poland, she kept the stroke rate up high. She must have been coming up near 40, and I think it was the right thing to do in these conditions. Rate it as high as you can, and navigated very well also.
Yeah, that first few strokes that she done perfectly. She very, very nicely entered the boat from the shore. Few strokes, and she found herself nice straight line towards the turning points and made that. She secured that time 3 minutes 4 seconds. I would say that's really, really nice for such a young athlete, for a junior woman.
Oh, it was a fantastic performance. She went for it. You know, you could see there what it meant to her coming up the beach to be in the quarterfinals. And now we're on to the next round, where we are looking at the reigning world champion, Janneke van der Meulen from the Netherlands.
Exactly, Janneke van der Meulen on the lane number 1, so the harder one, as we spoke. But I think 3 times lane 1 won, 2 times lane 2. So we're gonna see how it's gonna look after that race. On the lane 2, representing Germany, Julia Tartuente. Janneke van der Meulen from Netherlands, very, very strong, very experienced athlete, reigning world champion, as you said. We're gonna see how they're gonna deal with that tricky condition, but I think wind got a little bit weaker. So you're gonna see in a while.
Bit weaker, yeah. And Janneke, she was at the very first Beach Sprints in Shenzhen in 2019. Highly experienced athlete in endurance and in beach sprints at this stage. So it will be a tall order for Germany. But as we know in these competitions, anything can happen.
Yeah, watching athletes such as Janneke van der Meulen is such a joy, real pleasure, and real nice clean start. Janneke slightly up front, gonna be in a boat. Oh, they are really very even.
Dead even going into the boat. So we see how the handlers, who gets who away fast. And I think Germany have done a fantastic job over on the far side.
Yeah, Germany perfectly. She caught the blades perfectly, and there's a few strokes set her in the leading position for about half a length on the first straight line towards the boy number 1.
Yes, and Peter, you noticed there the German boat handlers, they caught the stern of the boat and ran through the water with the stern and gave her. He helped her
to catch that speed, to speed out, gave her that boost, and she's doing that perfectly. But look at the waves, how they're going up and down. It's gonna play a huge role on coming home on their way back. That feeling the water, that catching, sitting top of that wave, that can change everything. Now, representing Germany, Tartuente having very, very nice tight lane to the boy. As Janneke, she's going very, very close. She's gonna touch it. Yeah, she's slightly touched,
yes,
but it's allowed as long, and she maintains some speed, but still a little bit. Tartuente is up front of Janneke.
Yeah, you could see Janneke's huge experience there. She knew she was a bit close to the pencil marker, and she just stopped for a split second to let it run through. Huge experience there to avoid that collision.
But as we see, Tartuente, without respect to the reigning world champion, going hard on her, and we are on the 3rd turning point, and Janneke is up front right now.
Yes, Janneke came around. She had a very good rounding, Janneke, and she is heading for home. So
yeah, Janneke about 3 lengths up front of the representing Germany. Tartuente, yeah, the lead is massive. As we said, experience. She dealt with that spin way better, found her wave, and she's going nicely, strong, very straight lane home.
Yeah, you could see the huge experience there. She had a couple of issues to deal with at the second marker and the rounding, but Janneke now has slowed the stroke rate way down. She knows she must conserve energy now and conserve power for the quarterfinals. So Janneke has done all the hard work getting to the marker, and now she will relax and use as little energy as possible coming to the beach.
Yeah, as you said me yesterday, if you sit on top of that wave, you can be relaxed, being loose. If you without a big effort, you can slightly moving very very fast when you feel that water. And look at that, how nicely Janneke is doing that. As we spoke, reigning world champion, and we can clearly see that Tartuente tried to send her a warning, but she's now far away, as Janneke making her landing and slowly comfortable on the beach.
Yeah, she will come up the beach nice and steady. And Julia Tarente for Germany on her first day out did very well, put it up to the reigning world champion and was with her all the way to the mark, so very well performance by Germany.
Yeah, it's worth to mention that Tartuente started nearly perfection, that few first strokes that both handers had helped her. They gave them really nice and strong boost on the first meters, but the third turning point, that spin around, that's a very tricky, very technical part of the course that showed that Janneke is for some reason a world champion.
Yeah, so a very good challenge from Germany. It didn't face her that she was up against the reigning world champion. She went out, gave it everything, maybe an athlete for the future. I think in the speed sprinting she can be very proud of that performance.
Yeah, and we are looking for more such a good performance like that. Next start in front of us, another coastal woman solo during 2024 European Rowing Coastal and Beach Sprint Championship. On the lane 2, we're gonna have Patricia Batista from Portugal running Annalisa Cozzarini.
Yes, and again, experienced athletes here. Annalisa Cozzarini was in the bronze medal position in the Worlds in Barletta last year, and was also in the very first beach sprints in Shenzhen and the European Championship challenges, so highly experienced athlete at this event. And I think Patricia Batista has also taken part in beach sprints competition as well, so both these athletes are very experienced at this sport.
1 minute.
Yeah, very nice lineup, so many very experienced world top of the world, I would say, athletes today in Gdansk. And the girls are ready. Look at that, how Cozzarini, how focused they are. They are waiting to make a perfect start.
Yes, and you can see her down in the starting position. There's a coaching nowadays goes on with running as much as with rowing, how to get your body in the perfect position.
Yeah, I think the only thing now she see is her boat and her handlers. That's her target. She see nothing around. She's highly focused.
I think she's the most focused we have seen of anyone on the start line. She is lasered into her boat, and they're off.
But Patricia Batista timed it better and put herself in advantage on the first meters front. She's gonna be in the boat first, and you're gonna see how can she handle that.
Yes, Patricia is an incredibly fast runner, and she has got away first ahead of Annalisa.
Yeah, but that's not big lead. I think Annalisa Cozzarini, but we haven't seen that because of the picture. Annalisa must have done perfectly, entering the boat, catching the blades, and few strokes, half a length also of lead, and first buoy taken very closely by both of athletes, and Patricia making very fast, very smooth corrections toward the buoy number 2.
Yeah, and we can see the contrasting styles on the boat there of the rowings. We see Annalisa is not reaching it up as much and really catching it quickly and driving the back end of the stroke, whereas Patricia is more of a traditional approach to the rowing. But Patricia has the advantage from her very good run and her very good boat handlers, so she's holding that advantage that she gained in the first part of the race.
Yeah, but as you've seen in previous races, being in front before the turning point means nothing. A lot can change. The lane 2, yeah, but it is Patricia is pulling very hard. She's now in a lead about 2 lanes, maybe length and a half, and she's approaching very tightly the third turning point. You're gonna see how they're gonna deal with that.
Yeah, she's a very strong athlete, Patricia Batista, and she has done this before. And you can see her now, she's rounded her mark.
Maintained a lot of speed going now very clear, but
Annalisa has had a fantastic rounding.
Another
absolutely fantastic
experience that pay off. And we think Annalise is slightly up. No, Patricia is up front, but Annalise made that gap a little bit closer. But look how strong is pulling Patricia. She is really strong athlete, using the blades, very long, strong strokes of the blades.
Yeah, solid levering strokes, levering the boat forward, and she's heading now for the first mark. And after that, then for the beach run. As we saw her running down the beach, she is definitely one of the faster runners we have seen here today.
Yeah, she done it very, very fast, but she timed it, the start perfectly. I think that was right on the spot, as Annalise was slightly starting after her, but she has very, very nice position. Both of them are navigating really, really nicely towards the beach.
Yes, both of them navigated excellently in that race. But I think Patricia's just got that small edge at the start, which gave her the confidence then to extend her lead.
And we are looking for the landing. Big lead by Patricia Batista. It's nothing gonna.
And a perfect exit out of the boat. And now she can enjoy her run up the beach, because she knows she is going to the quarterfinals later on today. Very fast runner.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the closest race of today's day. Annalisa Cossarini making it second. Patricia Batista plays still is gonna stay in our competition, gonna compete later on, as Annalisa unfortunately did not make it. She is out.
Yes, and I'm not sure what the times were there in comparison, but I think that may be one of the fastest times we've seen so far. I think it looked very fast.
Both of them, yeah, we can see 3 minutes 3 seconds. So yeah, very, very nice time, perfectly. But the wind is a little bit slower, a little bit weaker, so it makes for them a little bit easier. Next race in front of us, another woman solo on the lane number 2, representing Lithuania, Raminta Morkunaite. On the lane number 1, representing Ireland, Monika Dukarska. I think we're gonna cheer for her, both of us, because Monika is from Poland, but living for some time and representing Ireland. She is very, very strong, very highly experienced athlete. We are looking for very, very nice performance. The girls are getting ready.
Yes, I think I know our commentary team, we're supposed to be not biased, but I think we are unfortunately a bit biased here.
We're trying not to be, but you cannot be, as the athletes from your country, your colleagues probably are on the starting line. The guys are getting ready. They're gonna start in a while.
Yeah, so as we say, Monika took a bronze medal in the European Championships last year in the beach sprints in Tonan. Highly experienced, reigning world champion in the endurance solo and the endurance mixed, but this is a different sport here, so we shall see. And she has also medaled in the endurance, as we saw.
Very,
on
very
Friday.
low position. She's going to start very, very strong, and you're gonna see.
And she's watching the flag.
Both perfectly timed. They are going really, really even. Look at that. They are really even. I think they're gonna reach the boat in the same time. Maybe Lithuania a little bit easier, but
yes, Raminta is in slightly quicker.
But Monika is more experienced. I think she's gonna deal with that, entering this first stroke perfectly. But we're gonna see in a while. Now I think. But representing Lithuania, Raminta is up front. I think a little bit massively for such a.
Yeah, she had a slightly quicker run and a slightly quicker entry, but Monika has got the height and the power, so she knows that it's only a length she's down at the moment, but she can pull it back.
Stroke ratio of the Raminta. She is really, really, really high stroke ratio.
I think she is out in front, and she is doing everything she can to hold off Monika Dukarska here, because she knows the power that Monika has, so she is rating it as hard as she can.
Exactly.
I think she may clip a marker. Oh, she has clipped a marker, but I think Monika is also going to clip the marker with the rigger, which is very well done.
Yeah, Monika very, very close. I think she lost some speed of that. I think Raminta already knows who Monika is. She knows she is only waiting for that one small mistake that she can take advantage of.
So we saw the approaches there where Raminta clipped it with a blade, which can slow you down, but Monika's experience clipped it with a rigger, which means that you don't slow as much. But
Raminta going wide. I think it's real place when Monika can take a lead.
I think so. I think Raminta is taking a long time to come around, but if Monika can spin the boat on the marker, she can capitalize, and she
does. Monika, it seems to be in front right now. Yeah, Monika for about a length. Perfectly done spin, perfectly.
Yes, as we're saying there, anything can happen in these races. You can be in front, you could be a length, 2 lengths in front, but there's so much to do on the way home with the mark and with the navigating that lead can change hands.
Yeah, we are gonna look for a picture from the drone, but yeah, that's very close. Very close. the navigation gonna be crucial. It can be decisive. Who gonna land better? Yeah, they are even. I think Monica is slightly up front, but slightly for about a meter, maybe meter and a half. But look at that, how I think Monica lost the wave.
I think Monica is trying to get up on the wave. She's highly experienced at riding the waves, but Raminta has kept the stroke rate up high. It's a high rate and she's tipping the boat along, keeping it moving.
Yeah, very nice race, very tight race. I'll be not surprised if it's gonna we're gonna see result after the very nice final on the beach.
It's going to come down to the exits now. There's very little in this race. It looks like Raminta may tip the beach first. I think she will.
Yeah, Monica is about a meter, maybe two, and very clean leaving
Very
about.
good exit by Monica. Very clean exit, and Raminta is coming slightly ahead.
Lithuania slightly in front, but look at that, how close this is. Lithuania, Raminta, Mokunate from Lithuania made that. She finished in front of Monika Dukaska, but how I think Raminta paid so much for that race. It cost her a lot of power, but beating Monika Dukaska must be really good feeling.
Yeah, she got a chance there in the start when she just got that bit of an advantage in the run and in entry into the boat, and it gave her maybe a length of an advantage, and she just kept that stroke right up as high as she could, because she knew that Monica could come on her with her power and her height. So we saw Monica at the rounding use her experience there to get herself back into the race and give herself a fighting chance there, but Raminta just had that little edge coming up the beach.
Yeah, Monika did her best, but representing Lithuania, Marina secures her spot in next stage. Raminta Morkunaitė from Lithuania, but as we can see, the Raminta is a short one, very skinny athlete, but a lot of power in those hands, a lot of power in that body, because I think that power was very important in that race. As we can see, Monica was seems to be up front after the third boy, but the Raminta made her work. She catched her up really creepy, putting herself in front again. And we are moving very fast to the next start. And on the lane number 1, representing Spain, Ainoha Casanova Capena against Salome de Georges on the lane number 2 from France. Two experience, very nice, very. Oh, okay, at the start that.
Yes, that was close. So we saw Spain just a little tension at the start there, but she didn't break the line, so she's okay.
But representing Spain, Casanova already in a boat, very strong push, and she is up front for about a length over the Salome de Georges from France.
Yeah, Spain is in front. Two nations with a huge tradition in this coastal rowing, France and Spain. And it looks like Spain is slightly in front after a slightly quicker entry into the boat.
Slightly up front and having better angle. The Georges had to make a lot of corrections, but I think representing Spain, Casanova is very wide. She made make a huge correction towards the boy number 2. That's maybe a chance for the Georges from France.
Yes, I think that France has better line. They have less correction to do coming across into the breeze, but Spain is looking like that they're coming across to that second marker now and may clip it if they.
It's about a length or so lead for the Casanova from Spain over the boy number 2 as they are approaching now the last line of the first part of the rowing to the turning point. We're gonna see who gonna deal with that better. Casanova is always more experienced one, and I think she's gonna make it very tight.
Yes,
spin.
And you can see there, Peter, as well, both athletes using a very high stroke rate and really hitting the back end of the stroke hard.
And very tight, very close turn. But look how she is trying, how strong she is fighting. But she done really nicely. De Georges going wildly, losing for about 2 lengths, maybe leg and a half on this light straight line. It's a very important part as De Georges seems to be making the gap closer, catching up to the Casanova.
Yeah, they're really putting everything into the back of the stroke. You can see Spain there now not reaching up as much, but just catching it immediately and swinging back with everything, using the shoulders far more than you would do in a flat water boat, for example. But there's nothing much in this race. There's still only bare boat length in spite of all the work being done by the Spanish athlete. Ohina Casanova, she is still maintaining a length, but France is not going away. France is actually closing slightly.
Yeah, representing France, Salome de Georges is really, really close to Casanova, and I think she, as I said, with every stroke she is making that gap even smaller. So last meters gonna be very interesting. De Georges is contesting. De Georges is gonna try to fight with Casanova until the end.
This is going to be another tight finish. I think Spain is
The
slightly in
both
front,
handlers are getting ready.
and I think Spain is out of the boat first, so she will have to run up the beach. But that was a very close race. We can see now the times are tightening up together.
Yeah, Casanova knows she slows down as she secures her spot in next part.
Yes, and very well done there at the run and the finish. Like you say, slow down, conserve energy. Every step counts for later in the day when we come to the quarter-final stage. So the trick is in the early rounds is to minimize fatigue, do as little as you have to get through to the next round.
And look at that, we are moving now to the men's solo. On the lane number 2, representing Spain, Adrian Miramon Quiroga, highly experienced reigning world champion right now. On the lane number 1, representing Sweden, Dennis Gustafsson. Dennis won the gold medal on the Friday in endurance, so he proved that he's very strong athlete. We're gonna see in a while how he finds himself, how he feels in a beach sprint.
Yes, two incredibly experienced athletes here. As everyone knows, Adrian Miramon is probably one of the greatest beach sprint athletes in the sport. He has been there since 2019, where he won the World Championship there. Dennis has won multiple medals in the endurance, along with his partner Eshkil in the double and also himself in the solo. But for this race, there will definitely be an advantage for Adrian on the run. He's a very fast runner, probably one of the quickest runners on the circuit.
Yeah, Adrian multiple times proved that how fast he is on the beach on the water. Multi-medalist Adrian Miramon Quiroga representing Spain again Dennis Gustafsson in about 8 minutes at 10 o'clock as the first knockout round of the solo men during 2024 European Rowing Coastal and Beach Sprint Championships in Gdansk this year.
Yes, and you'll see there Adrian, as well as fast running, he uses a fast stroke as well, so you will see him absolutely belting the stroke rate out to get off the beach and get out as fast as he can. We can see Dennis there, who generally uses a more traditional slower rate, but very powerful man, impossible to pass once he takes the lead in an endurance event. And with Eskil Borg in the double, once the two of them get in front, that's it. They're extremely powerful athletes, so very good start to the next round to see who comes into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, very interesting way to start the knockout round for the elite men. Quiroga versus Gustafsson. Gustafsson versus Quiroga. That's gonna be very interesting race. The smallest mistake can play a huge role, as they both are very experienced, very good athletes. This must be perfect round to secure that spot in next stage.
Yeah, and we see there the athletes going around the course. Some of them make it look easy, but it is not easy. It is so difficult to maintain your line, maintain your boat speed, try and get around a mark, come back, and you must do all this having ran down the beach through the soft sand, which is already causing you to, fatigue a bit and breathe heavily. So the people who make it look easy, they're really talented athletes.
Yeah, as we seen previously, as we seen yesterday or 2 days ago, many things you need to think about. The strength is not enough. This is a combination of that sprinting down the beach, of that rowing part, and navigation might be crucial, because if you pick up the wrong lane, or if you don't feel the rudder, you miss the wave, you don't sit in top of that, you lose massive danger that wave can do for you, boosting your speed and going very easily and very fast towards the beach.
Yes, and the trick is, as you know, once you come around that mark and you feel the boat start to lighten and start to move fast, it is vital that you, like we say, treat it like a surfboard. Don't try and fight it, don't try and find weight on the oars. Just shorten the stroke up, speed it up, and just keep tipping the boat along. So you're not doing work, you're just guiding the boat as it stays on top of that wave, and that's the real secret of the beach sprint and indeed the coastal endurance as well.
yeah, if you feel that water, if you can catch that wave, as you can see, you need to pull that hard. You just little small moves to keep in line, and the wave gonna make it for you. It's gonna flow you with the flow of the water to the beach, to the last meters of the run, because it's a beach sprint. It's combination of running and rowing. It's gonna be in a LA 2028. Very, very interesting sport. Really, really joy to watch.
Yes, and even there in the endurance racing, you were speaking there about surfing waves. If you can get a motorboat or a safety boat in the right place, you can even surf the waves off the motorboat. So there's so many opportunities there to make speed and to conserve energy, as opposed to the more traditional flat water where you pretty much know from your strokeometer what you have to do and at various parts of the race. But with this, if you have a strokeometer in the boat, you can see the splits dropping rapidly when you're up on top of that wave.
Yeah, as we can see, it will be first knockout run for the coastal men Solucia. After that, we're gonna have last 16, last 8. After that, quarter, semis, and finals. So a lot of starts in front of guys. They need to play that tactics for that to make that spot in the next stage with the less less effort as they can to save something in the back for the next races. They're gonna be even tighter for the next stage. And as you said, everything plays a role. Even the boat moving close, the safety boat, can then make that wave that you can take advantage of getting that boost speed. Or if you lose that wave, it stops you. It's gonna be a problem.
Yes, that's the problem. If you lose it, then you find yourself slowing down, and then you have massive weight on the oars trying to restart that boat again. But the trick is definitely to conserve energy. The time trials are reasonably well spread out, as are these rounds here. But the problem with energy comes in the last 8. The quarter, semi, and final are right up on top of each other, so you just do not have time to recover correctly. So it is very important that you do as little as possible to get into that last 8 and give yourself every advantage to progress.
But I think that Gustafsson and Quiroga, there will be no space for rest. They will be fire all the time as they're gonna. Dennis Gustafsson right next to us, feeling very, very focused but relaxed as well. I think he's very, very confident, and in front of reigning world champion Miramon Quiroga is a really, really tough race in the first knockout stage.
Yes, and as you know, Dennis and Eskil from the double, very, very nice men, very quiet men. They go about their business, they win their races, and as you said, extremely relaxed. He isn't a bit phased by the fact that he's up against the reigning world champion.
And we have Dennis and Miramon Quiroga is already also there. Dennis is waiting for him. I think he gonna play that mentally, waiting for the champion, match that psychical advantage before the race starts. They are next to each other.
Yes.
Really, really nice pictures of sportsmanship. Wishing best luck on the course for both of them. We're gonna start in about 2 minutes. Adrian Miramon Quiroga versus Dennis Gustafsson.
Yeah, very nice to see at the start there. 2 world champions salute each other. They both know how good the other is, and the respect they show for each other it's fantastic to see in a sport like this.
Yeah, really, really fantastic race in front of us. Quiroga showed that in Balletta, how he can feel the water catching that wave. We're gonna see that in a while if you're gonna find that one wave for him. That one wave gonna help him to put himself in an advantage of this run.
And Adrian also, you can see he's up for the race. Even though reigning world champion, you still have to deliver every single race. You know you can't make mistakes. You can see there he's a bit nervous, but he's up for the race, and Dennis is relaxed, ready to give it everything he can.
Yeah, the Miramon is a reigning world champion, so he have to. Dennis can beat him, and they started. Look how fast they are. Really, really nice sprint from Miramon Quiroga. But I think he is gonna take that first to the boat.
Yes, Adrian is into the boat first, as we were thinking, but Dennis is not so far behind either.
And
Dennis has got a fantastic start.
Look how strong push from Miramon Quiroga to speed up that boat, to get that speed. It's about a length or so of lead for Miramon Quiroga so far, and very, very nice line towards the boy number 1.
Yes, and we see Adrian Miramon just rowing out past the first marker. Fantastic blade work, clean as could be with the blades. But Dennis has decided to up his stroke rate from his usual endurance, and Dennis is not letting Adrian Miramon get away with 5-6 lengths at all. He is staying right with him.
But Dennis sticks very, very close to the champion Miramon on the second marker, on the second turning point at boy number 2. But Miramon, look at that, about 2, but he seems to be very, very relaxed. His arms are very, very loose, moving very smoothly to the third point, but very, very tight, very aggressive attack on that marker.
Yeah, this is a man who makes rowing look very easy. Like we say, he doesn't reach it ahead as far in these beach sprints. He's a tall man, but he just throws the hands ahead.
He made that look so easy, but it's not. It's very tricky point. And look at that, just 2 or 3 strokes, and Miramon have a straight line, locked up on the beach, locked up on the dismount point in front of Dennis Gustafsson from Sweden.
Yes, this is a very impressive performance by Adrian Miramon, but by Dennis Gustafsson is equally as impressive, because here's a man who's known for his endurance, but he's really worked on his beach sprinting. You can see he's hanging on to Adrian Miramon by maybe a length of water.
Yeah, it's a clear signal from Dennis Gustafsson to Miramon Quiroga. Adrian, it's not gonna be easy day for you. You're gonna fight in each race. You're gonna fight to get that European Championship 2024 in Gdansk. Miramon Quiroga, Dennis Gustafsson, both on their way to the beach, to the shore. Look at that, look how Quiroga is comfortable, very, very nice, straight line. As he's now approaching the shore, we are looking for very clean landing, and I think
yes, he is one of the best exits of any athlete in the course. He's so agile and so explosive. You can see him there, just up and up the beach, no effort whatsoever. And again, as we said, experience, conserve energy, just jog up the beach.
Energy saving mode on as Miramon Quiroga from Spain, securing his spot in last 16 over the Dennis Gustafsson from Sweden. But as Miramon makes he's going further, but really nice performance from Dennis Gustafsson, because he was for very, very long distance really close to Quiroga.
Oh, he did. It was a fantastic performance, and great to see the salute after the race again. 2 champions appreciate each other, but very, very clean by Adrian Miramon. He's done down to the quarterfinals. He's used just enough energy to get himself into the quarters, and he'll go now and he will relax and he'll prepare for the quarters, for the bigger tests ahead.
Look at the time, 2 minutes 46 seconds. How fast it was, how very, very nice result on the finish line in the first knockout stage, when the Miramon didn't give all he has, because as we saw on the run course, he saves some power from the next start, and we are moving to the next start very smoothly, very slightly. Another man solo on the lane number 2, representing Portugal, Goncalo Delgado will be facing on the lane number 1, Leopold Wiesinger from Austria. 2, I think, still young athletes.
Yes, and also 2 nations that have really invested in development of coastal rowing is Portugal and Austria. So Portugal obviously have all the facilities available, but Austria, being a landlocked country, went to Portugal this year and went to several other beach sprint events to give their athletes the experience. So Austrian rowing is really embracing coastal rowing, and they've done fantastic work with their athletes to bring them up to this level. So this will be a very, very interesting battle now between these 2 athletes.
Yeah, every race is very interesting, because this is knockout stage. If you make some mistake, if you are not first on the finish line, you are out. You are out of the competition. So every race is to be or not to be, to stay alive, to stay in the fight for the golden medal that is on the table of today's races. But look at the clouds, look at the wind. The nice pictures, but very, very cloudy, very, very windy, tricky, very, very tricky conditions, and nice start from both of them.
Yes, and
I think Delgado made it slightly better.
I think Austria is in the boat first, but only just, I think.
But Wiesinger gets to the boat first. Look at that, let's take a look who deals with that better. And I expect Delgado to be from, because I think they made it smoother, made it cleaner, and but no, they are very, very even. So the navigation can be crucial in that race on the first part, because I think that Wiesinger has a better angle, is aiming better on the second buoy on the left hand side, point number 2.
Yes, this is very, very close race. I think Portugal on the far side, Goncalo, he's definitely rating higher.
But it can be tricky. I think the Portuguese Delgado is gonna make it smooth and maintain more speed, as the Wiesinger, I expect, gonna make that sharp turn right after the boy number 2.
And I think that clipping the mark on the way out, that has happened to a lot of athletes there, and it does unsettle you slightly. So I think it has given Portugal as an advantage going for the turning mark.
As I said, his line was smoother, had better angle before that boy, and made advantage of that, approaching first to the turning point. But let's take a look. Delgado is very, very close. He's gonna lose a lot of speed. Oh no, he's going wide.
I think maybe Austria has maybe a sharper turn. I think so.
Yes,
Austria has a sharper turn.
May more sharper turn, but Delgado went wider and few strong pulls to get himself in the right position, and they are very, very even on that last straight line.
Yeah, I think that Austria, Leopold has gained a bit of ground there on that turn. He was down maybe half a length. He gained a bit of ground back. So definitely, you can see all the work that has been done by the Austrian Federation in those training camps throughout the year. They have really done fantastic work for their athletes. But I think Goncalo from Portugal, he has really powered home in the last 80 metres there to give himself a bit of an advantage of maybe a boat length and maybe a bit of water as well too. So it looks like Austria will have a bit of ground to make up now.
Yeah, Delgado about a length and a half, and he is making that even bigger. Delgado from Portugal in the lane 2 on the red boat is going to be first on the show, first to land in the next stage of our race. About 20 meters before the dismount lane. Last look through his shoulder.
And you can see how he did it there. He cut a wave out and he just kept
very, very clean, very clean, very smooth leaving.
And again, no need to run too hard, conserve energy, just jog up, hit the buzzer.
Yeah, and representing Portugal, Goncalo Delgado, setting himself in the last 8 of today's races in elite men. And we are moving forward. Who's gonna be next, because we are witnessing very interesting races so far, very joy to watch, very close races of the champions and the contestants. In the next race we're gonna have on the lane number 1 from Czechia, Jan Fleisner. On the lane number 2 representing Netherlands, Erwin Wiltenberg.
Yes, so these are again Netherlands Rowing has also invested heavily in developing beach sprints. Bjorn van den Ende there has really led the way, and they're making a lot of progress in coastal and beach sprint rowing. And Czechia are also doing very well as well too. So these are 2 young athletes. Erwin is only 20 years of age.
He's 20 years of age. So we're gonna see now both of them very tall, very muscle guys. So we expect very strong pulls, very quick run to the boat, and after that very strong push at the start to get that boat speed. I think the details that such a navigation dealing with the waves can decide, because they both seem to be very strong.
Yeah, so we see that the start line officials working really hard there. They're constantly working the course, straightening the start line, smoothing the sand, getting everything ready for these athletes. So this is running really smoothly. It's a fantastically ran event. And I know that the athletes really appreciate when everything is running smoothly like this for them, because it's so hard to concentrate on running, getting into the boat, getting out of the boat, everything. And we're really seeing some fantastic performances by these young athletes here. And we mentioned the conditions are challenging, but you'd never think it the way all these athletes are rowing.
That's the coastal. It has to be challenging. That's not the flat water. These waves, the wind. That's why we looking for that can make a distance. Not always the strongest athlete can make it, but the most experienced, that one who feels it, who knows how to deal with that waves, with that wind, putting himself in a good position, not let the waves put his boat sideways. And we haven't witnessed that yet, because the waves are very smooth near the shore. But who knows what gonna bring us later when the wind gets stronger. We may witness it in the semis and quarters and so on, when the weather condition changes, how the athletes gonna deal with them later on.
So we would be hoping for maybe more waves later on, for more jeopardy at the finish line, maybe to see if a boat is coming in maybe a length ahead and they're trying to prevent themselves going sideways.
Of course, we wish the athletes all the best results, but we are looking forward for some troubles, how they can deal with that higher, stronger wave near the shore. The technique gonna play a role as they are getting prepared from Czechia. Jan Fleisner, alongside him Erwin Wiltenborg, both of them very young but very strong. Looking forward to save a spot in last 8 of elite men during our European Rowing Coastal Champions for first time in Poland, first time in Gdansk. And it's your first time in Poland, David?
First time in Poland, yes, absolutely fantastic. Enjoyed every minute of it. So we're really looking forward to this event. It was held at a good time of year for us as well too. It's a nice break in the middle of all the training. So a lot of people came over from Ireland as well too. As you know, the airport, Cork, Gdansk, Dublin, Gdansk. There's plenty of connecting flights. So very happy.
Yeah, we're looking forward that Gdansk is the first time, but not the last one. It's gonna make that position in European on the map of European rowing. Gonna make this event going annually every year, because this is really beautiful. It's nearly perfect place to host events like that. The sea is very nice. The beach is very nice, long beach, and the city of Gdansk is really piece of art. It's a real beauty, one of the beauties on map of Poland.
It is. It's a lovely city, the old town part of it. I know a lot of people have walked around for the day there.
Yeah.
And
have you had some time to take a trip around city?
Yes, we noticed very early on when we arrived here that you have these electric scooters, so we very quickly signed up to these, and for transport it is very good, and very happy to be able to get around the city.
Yeah, very nice. Big city, about 500,000 of citizens living in Gdańsk, but very close to Gdańsk are another very big city like Sopot and Gdynia, making that three city about 1 million people living on that shore of the Baltic Sea. Is being a field of play of today's races, and the guys are getting ready. About 3 minutes to start the run number 3 of Coastal Men's Solo this event. Czechia, Jan Fleisner, yeah, on the line number 1, so far away from the pyre. Erwin Wiltenberg picked up lane number 2, closer to the pier.
Yes, and it was good timing also too. The World Cup was only held in Poznan last week, so a lot of athletes were able to stay in Poland for the week and come over here. So it was very well timed to allow maximum participation from all athletes, from all codes.
It's very comfortable to have such an events really close to each other, doing so it's easier to move from Poznań to Gdańsk, because this is really nice, and both are huge cities, one of the biggest in Poland, very well communicating between each other.
Yes, and we see there behind the 2 athletes who are getting ready to race, our friend from Finland, Joel Nakara, and he has been warming up for the last 10-15 minutes there behind where the athletes are standing, so he is really focused on his next race, and we can see him running down there. Incredibly powerful man. I think his time on the 500 meters on the erg is the world champion.
Yeah, Joel is moving around. Still, he started, I think, in 3 races on the Friday. In hands of him were gold medal in mix, but that they landed very far away from the finish line, of the fences of the crowd cheering up, and French internationals made advantage of that, getting a better straight line and finishing in front of them. So Joel is as I said, he's very powerful, very strong man.
Yes,
looking forward
to do 18 kilometers in those conditions as well too, and still be getting ready for battle again today. It is a.
But now it's time for Czechia and Netherlands. Jan Fleisner, Erwin Wiltenberg, and they started very strongly, very strong run from Jan Fleisner from Czechia. Yeah, very strong.
I think
very
Jan is in the boat first.
Both in the boat. I think Czechia first, and the first 2 strokes. Very nice, very strong push.
I see Netherlands just caught slightly at the start there. I think this may give the advantage to Czechia. I think Czechia
started way better. Wiltenberg, being young athlete, struggled for some time with catching the blade, with starting this strong pulse. And Czechia in front for about length, having a very nice aggressive lane towards the boy number 2. That's gonna to be taken by left side.
Yes, you could see the start there by Czechia, by Jan. He is pulling about a half a stroke and maybe 50 strokes a minute, but he is unloading into every single stroke, and it has given him a 2-length advantage. But unfortunately, Erwin has just to make a correction.
Yeah, Ian is struggling to make that on the second boy, and he barely makes it, but he lost so much on the sharp turn. That is huge advantage from Ian Fleisen from Czechia. That is soon approach a turning point. That spin is gonna look how he's deal with that.
And good turn by Jan at the rounding. After seeing the way Jan is performing here, he could be a challenger in the quarters if this continues and he's able to come home safely. Very impressive performance. High stroke rate, tall man, lots of power. And we can see now, is he able to surf those waves? So he's not up in a wave at the moment. He's trying to find the wave, but if he can surf on the way home...
That's exactly what Ian is doing. Look at that, how
now
smoothly he's moving, how smooth. He's just touching the water with blades, letting the wave help him to the beach. And his lead over representing Netherlands, Erwin Wiltenberg, is massive for now. Look how Erwin is having problem with navigations. He's really struggling to deal with that wind. He's moving him from left to right.
And he's a very young athlete, so I think this is good that he will come back at 20 years of age. There's a whole future ahead of him. But what a performance by Jan, though. He has absolutely powered the boat out to the round again, powered it home. And he's brought down the rate a bit now, obviously, because he knows he's reasonably safe. But
he knows he's in safe position. I think it's safety mode on. It's time to save some power from next races. And representing Czechia, Ian Fleisner, already dismounted, running to the finish line. He is confident. He knows he set himself up after the rowing part in very comfortable position as Ian Fleisner makes it, saves his spot in last 8 of our European Championships.
Yes, and you could see there he moved his hands in from the outside of the oar, so he's holding them well in and just barely tipping it home, surfing nicely. So definitely a very impressive performance. I think he will do very well in the quarters. You know, Jan is coming in under the radar, so he will be a very difficult opponent for whoever he gets in the next round.
Yeah, Ian introduced himself very nicely to today's races. 2 minutes 53 seconds. Such a nice result on the finish line as he went very relaxed on the beach. Because he knew.
And his time is, say, at the moment, 10
and your
seconds.
strong one, colleague, Joel from Finland on the lane number 1. He's gonna be facing Michal Girotto from Croatia on lane number 2. Look at that, at Joel, how massive he is. Very big guy. As Girotto, a skinny, tall one. But we're gonna see.
I think Joel is probably capable of producing more watts than any athlete here, I think, and that's with all due respect to everybody. The power he has is explosive, and you can see he is psyched up, he is ready.
1 minute.
Yeah, we are looking forward. Joel now Karinen from Finland against Michal Girotto from Croatia. Joel on lane number 1, Michal on lane number 2. And umpire gave order to put the boats on the water. Ball handlers are ready. Athletes are ready. Less than a minute to start the 4th race of elite men this day.
Yes, if Joel can get into the boat clean and get the first couple of strokes away, I think he has a good chance. But like you say, Michail is a different athlete. He could be a bit quicker on the run going down the beach, and if he gets in quickly then and is able to get the boat away, it will be a fantastic battle between the two of them.
Yeah, I think Joel is more experienced, and I think he's gonna do it perfectly. We are looking for very clean entrance, but I think Croatia, Michail
is in first. Very light in his feet, very athletic man.
Yeah, the skinny that made him advantage the sprint part, but now take a look. We are looking forward. What's gonna Joel do? As we said, he is very strong one. Strong pull, strong strokes, long strong strokes.
Yes, Michail just had that bit more athleticism going down the beach. He is holding the oars very much in, so he has to move his hands out to the ends of the oars and settle down and relax. Joel is now applying all those watts that we spoke about. He is absolutely powering through Mihail.
Like a beast, he's pulling very, very hard, and I think now he's in front. Joel Naukarinen from Finland and Mihail Girotto from Croatia on the lane 2 are now after the second boy. They are really even, head to head, next to each other.
Yes, I think Joel applied a massive amount of power there in those 10 strokes, but I think Mihail has responded and picked up the stroke rate even more to get away from him. So this is a very good battle.
Girotto is saying like, come on guys, Joel is strong, but I'm very, very strong one too. And now Girotto is at the third buoy, that spin, very technical, very tricky. We're gonna see, and he's dealing with that, but look how wide he's going, very, very wide.
He's gone very wide, and he's opened the door for Joel to come back at him.
Yeah, and Joel says, hi, I'm back. Look at that, look at me, I'm next to you. It's time to race, it's time to show everything you have on this last 250 meters of straight line. Let's gonna see how Joel gonna navigate right now. We are looking for a clean landing from him.
Yes, and I think Mihail has caught a wave. He's using the waves very well, but as you say, Joel is going nowhere. So it is going to be a very, very close race coming in. But Mihail has just caught a wave there, and he's pulled out to he's got I think maybe a length of water now. So Joel needs to also catch a wave as he has to close the gap on Mihail, who was out in first place. So as they come through the first set of marks, Mihail is just caught on the mark, I think, but he's recovered nicely, and he is straightened for the home run for the beach, as we say.
Yeah, Mihail doing his Girotto, very, very nice run from him, very, very nice throwing, very smoothly, very clean, going quite. We thought Joel gonna take advantage shot, but Mihail showed he knows what he do. He maintained a lot of speed that helped him on these last meters, and Girotto from Croatia on his run, making that, taking a spot in the next stage to the semis.
And very good time as well too, 2:53. And he was challenged very hard by Joel at numerous parts of the race, but he didn't face him. He kept focused, but his turn definitely, if he can tighten up the turn for his quarterfinal battle, he will definitely save another few seconds. So again, another maybe dark horse for these quarterfinals.
Yeah, and we're moving on forward to the run number 5. On the lane number 1, we are having Zygimantas Galinaskis, as I remember correctly. He was in Final B last year in Valletta, and alongside him, younger athlete, 22 years of age, Benjamin Louis from Belgium on lane number 2.
Yes, and as we were saying about power as well, Zygimantas, he is an incredibly powerful athlete as well too. I think his ERG score is well under 6 minutes, so it'll be interesting to see how he lines up now. I think he had a very quick time also in the time trials, so with Belgium we have a younger athlete, maybe Benjamin is say 22 years, so there's a good 10 years there of a difference, but as we saw in the last race, the younger, lighter, more athletic athlete was able to surf the waves and get the faster time, so this will be an interesting battle of styles.
Yeah, we need to watch very, very closely to see young athletes like Benjamin is, because they can play a huge role in LA 2028 on the Olympic Games, as the young athletes are advancing. Both boats are in the water, both handlers are waiting, are preparing them to welcome the athletes. Zygimantas Galisanskis from Lithuania on lane number 1, and Benjamin Louis from Belgium on lane number 2, and the both athletes are ready. Less than a minute to start.
Get ready.
So they're under starters orders, trying to keep the tension under control.
Look at who is preparing to the next race.
We see our friend from Italy.
Both of them,
Icara.
another. But now focus on, very close to fast start, I think.
And it looks like
and it was.
It looks like
no. They can't hear that.
It looks like we're having a recall.
Yeah, it's recall, but
So Zygimantas is.
Zygimantas realized that right now. Both of them try to time the start perfectly. So they hesitated for a while making that little fast start as we've seen, so we need to retake it.
During the start of commentary. They are louder, the commentary, than your blasts.
So both athletes walking slowly back up to the start line,
Yeah, they
conserve
have-
energy.
They don't need to hurry up. They're slowly walking around to the start line.
And we see Zigomantis is
Yeah,
still not
already
in, so
said He's
He-
gonna land. He's gonna
he took a
land
good
up.
10-15 strokes. He wasn't stopping. He wasn't taking any chances. He was going to wait until he was definitely sure that the race was stopped.
Yeah, he can treat it as a nice warm-up, but he entered the boat very smoothly, very nicely, having that few strokes set him in a nice position. He catch the speed really fast, and we're gonna see how you're gonna deal with that retaken start. Lewis on the lane number 2 and Galisanskis on the lane number 1. Galisanskis finished 4th last year in Barletta in the semi-final B, where he was beaten by Karl Schulz from Germany.
Yes, I remember that race. The conditions were very challenging, but Karl, obviously very experienced athlete, has been to the Olympics, etc. So we hear there that Belgium are being awarded a yellow card, so Benjamin will have to be very careful here that he doesn't spring a second yellow card, because the yellow cards cover for the whole day. So every round now you must be careful, because 2 yellows means that you're disqualified from the competition.
Yeah, you need to be very careful and look at that, how focused they are. They are looking. And yeah, Benjamin waited that half of second, but very nice sprint from him. And I think Honak will be first to enter the boat. No, these Zigimantas made it better.
Zigimantas is first, but I think Zigimantas is probably a way cleaner. He seemed to get a slightly better start than Benjamin.
Look how hard he's working to get that speed. The waves are strong, but slightly in front for now, Benjamin Lewis. We're gonna see how it's gonna form after the first point that they are now approaching.
Yes, Benjamin is rowing incredibly well. He has a fantastic
But
rhythm.
Zigimantas is doing very well as well, close, sticking very close. We are now looking how they're gonna deal with that light. The second boy they're gonna take by left side, but Zigimantas already slightly in front, but this is very close gap, very small distance that is between them.
Yes, I think a big correction by Zigimantas on the marker. That will cost him a length at least, and has opened the door for Benjamin. But
And he already paid that. Benjamin found that better line as Galisanski is going wide, but Galisanski is more experienced and now is the most tricky part of the race, that spin, that 180 degrees around the third
but
boy.
I think that marker has unsettled Zigimantas, because he's gone extremely wide coming into that marker, and Benjamin is around the buoy and heading for home, and Zigimantas is still
Why? But
stuck in the buoy.
he touched the boy with his blade, losing this rhythm, losing some time. But now, yeah, they are really next to each other. So last 200 meters, 220 meters maybe for now will be very interesting, very challenging for both of them, as they gonna fight until the end for the spot in the last 8.
Yes, and I think Zigimantas is using rate and power far more so than Benjamin. So I think Zigimantas is up on top of a wave at the moment. So I think his higher stroke rate and his more aggressive rowing is starting to get the better of Benjamin, who's a very slick, talented oarsman. You can see there how smooth he is, but Zigimantas is just rating it as hard as he can.
Yeah, Galisanskis, as more experienced athlete, is working very hard. He's showing everything he has on this rowing part, but Benjamin Lewis, as a young athlete, is sticking really close. He's not letting easy on Galisanskis, who is gonna, I think, land way.
Yes,
we are looking
Zigimantas now has a nice clean exit, and he's done enough on the way home to take the victory.
Yeah.
But he had to recover from a fair bit of navigation errors there, which opened the door for Benjamin.
Yeah. He's taking a look at Benjamin, but Benjamin is trying. And look at that, how close Benjamin was. It was really close find out. Zigimantis went comfortable. He thought he's in better position, but as we saw in the first run, Benjamin is very good at sprinting, very strong runner.
Yeah, so Benjamin goes out at the last 16, but very impressive performer, I think. Good runner. run in, run out, and very, very skillful oarsman. So we could see a lot more of him in the future as he gets more experience in these competitions.
Yeah, and we are moving to the next race. Very, very interesting one, representing Great Britain on the lane number 2. Jerry Owen, who is commentating alongside me on Friday also. And on lane number 1, representing Italy, Giovanni Ficara. Very, very strong athlete. He lost to Miramon Quiroga in Valletta last year, being a vice-world champion, but he is, as I remember correctly, reigning European champion for right now, and he is mixing the flat water and the coastal rowing. He's very, very strong athlete. Really, really joy to watch such athletes on the starting line.
Yes, Giovanni, very, very fast runner. Probably one of the fastest runners there, and we remember his battles with Ketchup Bosch.
Not a tall one, he's short, but his legs are massive. He's very muscular one, and the boats are already in the water.
Yes.
The athletes on the starting line, Giovanni Ficara, Italy on the lane 1, and Jerry Owen on the lane 2 from Great Britain.
Yes, and Jerry Owen, very young, 23, but very, very experienced. He's been doing this coastal rowing for maybe 7, 8, 9 years, so he is very, very good at this sport. Quick runner and very good at handling the waves and surfing as well.
Yeah, he is not going to be easy on Giovanni Ficara, who looking forward at. They started.
Yes,
and look at that.
Giovanni's
like
already in front.
Giovanni Ficara, what a sprinter he is. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And very, very nice. Clean entrance to the boat. Look at that. That's so great. Wow. Wow. Impressive.
So quick to get into the boat as well. So agile. But he hasn't got away from Jerry Owen though. Jerry Owen is holding onto him.
Very, very well too. As we are being very, very enthusiastic how Ficara deal with this first plan. But look at that. Jerry sticks really, really close to Giovanni. He shows Giovanni it's not gonna be easy for you to be the last 8. Giovanni, you need to be perfect, everything. Small mistake and I'm gonna overtake you.
Yes, and we don't have the stroke race in front of us here, but both athletes are obviously rating well over 40 here, and it is the only way to keep the boats out in front, I think. Very well done going past
but
those
both
markers.
of them very, very well done going through the second buoy ahead of the spin. Jerry seems to be up front a bit.
This rounding now will be crucial now between two very evenly matched athletes here. I think Jerry may have a slight, not much now, but a very slight advantage here.
It all depends on the angle. As I think Ficara is going to maintain more boat speed, and now it's about the navigation. How fast you can get in a straight line on the beach, and Ficara done it better. Giovanni Ficara, for some reason, he is vice-world champion and European champion. But Jerry Owen, as a young athlete, sticks really close to Ficara, and look at that, how big correction Ficara are taking. That's a place for Joey.
Yes, I think
Jerry, sorry.
It's whoever can catch the wave now. I think Jerry has done incredibly well
Jerry
here.
got that way. Look at this boost, and he's up in front of Ficara, up front. But remember how good run is Giovanni Ficara. It might finish on the shore because they are about, I think, 1 meter. But look how strong Ficara is pulling. Do you see that?
Yes, he's shortened up his stroke and he's just using half stroke down. He's giving it absolutely.
Yeah, very, very high ratio.
Very high rate. And but Jerry is on a wave and surfing. Jerry is surfing and he's pulled a length.
Jerry feels that water moving very smoothly. Ficara is trailing Jerry Owen, Great Britain, representing Great Britain, in front of Giovanni Ficara from Italy.
Jerry Owen is probably one of the best coastal oarsmen around. He just got on that wave and pulled himself out a length.
But Ficara is very, very close. But it's gonna be Jerry Owen. But Ficara is challenging. It's up to one. But Jerry Owen, representing Great Britain, makes it. Giovanni Ficara on the second. But look at the clock. Very, very nice results.
Oh, fantastic race between two really good athletes. Jerry Owen just had that bit of wave catching on the way home, which propelled him into first place just when he needed it. When Giovanni was putting him under pressure, he got that wave and he got a length, and that secured the victory for him.
Yeah, that was very, very joy to watch as Jerry caught that wave, had it, gave them a sprint boost, that advantage. 2 minutes 47 seconds, and Giovanni 2 minutes 4 seconds later. So we saw many athletes making final with worst time that Giovanni had, finishing second on the finish line.
Yes, and that's the joy of the draw. You just don't know who you can be up against here. And we see Jerry is just coming over here now after his race. He looks elated and he looks a bit fatigued, but he knows he's into the quarterfinals, and
Yeah.
he knows that he's done a fantastic job by managing to take out Giovanni. And I think all the other athletes that are going to the quarters will be saying thank you, Jerry, also, because they do not want to see Giovanni running down the beach against them.
Yeah, and they are now waiting for the next start. Run number 7, Costa Man solo. Franz Werner from Germany on lane number 1. Alexis Fortier from France on lane number 2. As the umpire gives an order, boats are being put to the water. Athletes are on starting line, getting prepared for the set.
Yes, and I think, like you were saying earlier, I think the wind has eased slightly, but the waves have definitely started to bump up a bit more. So we're heading more into that swell conditions and maybe a bit less wind.
Yeah, exactly. The direction of wave is constantly changing. It's really important to find yourself on the
Get
top
ready.
of the wave. I've seen Jerry done perfectly, giving that speed boost on the last meters, letting him possibility to swim away from Giovanni Ficara, but Giovanni was trying until the end. Now we are
Yes.
moving. Alexis Fortier, very experienced athlete from France against Franz Werner from Germany, younger one. So once again, mix of experience against the youngster. And
Yes.
Werner, I think, was faster on the sprint.
Yes, Franz Werner was definitely
Look at
faster
the
into
waves.
the boat.
They are struggling to get that first strokes, catch that speed. That's very important to speed up the boat very, very easy. And when you get that speed up, set up on the nice high position, you're gonna maintain that speed if you are. But
Yes.
as we see, Fortier on lead for now,
Yes.
but slightly up front.
Slightly in front, but look at this solid technical performance of Alexis Fortier here. He is holding on well, but Werner is strong. Franz Werner is a very strong man by the looks of it, and he seems to be able to power his boat slightly past Alexis Fortier.
Yeah, very long, powerful strong, but he touched the boy with blade mat. He loses some rhythm, but still sticks in front of Alexis Fortier. Franz Werner from Germany approaching now the third buoy, the turning point.
I think France will probably hit the mark at the same time as Alexis by the looks of it. They're very close, both boats. So we'll see will Alexis Fortier use all of his experience
But
to
look
get
at
around
the
that
waves.
mark
They
quickly.
are pulling them away from the buoy or into the buoy right now. Look at that, how France was pulled to the buoy. And Fortier going wide, but catching up speed very, very fast. But Franz Werner going tight.
And
Oh, but he lost control of the blade.
France just caught a wave, and just as he was about to accelerate, he lost the blade. So had France got up,
Yeah.
got up on top of that wave, he was gone.
Look at that. Fortier found that wave that Werner missed. Lost a control of his scars, lost control of his blade. So it was, but look at how strong he is, how he's going to catch up.
Yes,
With the
France
Fortier.
is definitely more powerful, and he's picked up his stroke rate, and he's surfing now. He got the second wave. He might have missed the first one, but he's definitely got the second one.
Yeah, he found his rhythm. They are both moving very smoothly. Look at how nicely he's surfing Alexis Fortier. They are really, really close to each other. It's gonna be very interesting finish. We gonna see if they're gonna remain of their position on top of the wave without losing it on last meters. They're gonna cost them a position in the semis.
I think we were talking about that beach wave is starting to come now that we had yesterday, and who will get out of this boat fastest is the question
It's gonna
here.
be beach final. It's gonna be sprint final. But Werner goes out first. He's strong. He's tall. He's looking where the Fortier is. But the Franz Werner from Germany. Youngster one.
Very
More.
powerful athlete is Franz Werner, very powerful. He had a lot of work to do there, but he had a very good turn, which helped him to come back into the race. And like we say, he got that second wave, which brought him maybe a length or so into the lead, but Alexis Fortier wasn't letting him get away with it, and the two crews nearly ended on the beach together, but Franz Werner just had that slight advantage getting out of the boat.
Yeah, and now it's time to battle Ireland versus Poland on the lane number 2, representing Ireland, Kylian Mannix. On the lane number 1, representing Poland, Adam Bunowski. And then look at that, how many people gathered there on the grandstand. you can see that, maybe you can hear that, as the speaker announced, Adam Bujnowski, all the cheer went up. That may be huge advantage having that crowd alongside you. It may give you the wind, may give you the wings that you're gonna surf on the top of the wave.
Definitely, your pride, you're representing your nation in your home, and it is definitely you're going to give it everything you have. But Keelan Mannix, very experienced athlete and coastal. He's been at it for years. He's been beach sprinting for years.
It's important to mention both experienced but still very, very young one. Keelan Mannix on the lane number 2, on the lane number 1, Adam Bujnowski from Poland. And we are looking forward, because in a second they're gonna start. The boats are already waiting, boats are already in the water.
Get ready.
And we've seen the conditions have picked up slightly outside there. This will suit Keelan Mannix definitely. He likes it, the rougher, the better. So I think Adam is away first.
But Adam made it better. Adam timed it nicer and very, very strong, nice sprint for him. And he's in the boat first. And now he's making himself comfortable, making that few pulls. Very, very nicely done by Adam Bujnowski.
Yes, Adam came down the beach and he seemed to just flow into the boat. There was no break at all, and he is rating as high as he possibly can now to stay ahead of Keelan. But Keelan is only about a half a boat length off him at the moment, so
yeah, Keelan is going with a smaller ratio but very long, strong pull. As Adam Bujnowski with short but very high cadence of this pull. But about our length of leading for now for Adam, and I think his angle is gonna be better. He's attacking very aggressively on this second buoy, but maybe too aggressively. He's gonna take a sharp turn right now, very, very sharp turn that Keelan Mannix can take advantage of.
yes, Adam had a lot of work to do there to get out to round that last mark, and he has opened the door slightly for Keelan Mannix, who has pulled up to within half a length. But Adam is still rating far higher. He is reaching up to about half stroke and pushing it away as hard as he can.
Yeah, I think stroke ratio of Adam is a little bit lower right now. He switched from the short, quick moves to the longer but slower ones, and now.
And we think Adam has just came around there. He did good round, coming around.
Very, very nicely by Adam. Keelan Mannix struggling a little bit with getting that straight line. He decided to maintain some spin at cost of his navigation, but he still have about 200 meters to correct to get that straight, nice line. But Adam is leading for about 2 lengths, very, very nicely, and I think he's nicely surfing on the top of the wave.
Keelan is surfing very well though. He's just got a wave or two there now and he's surfing very well. But Adam is powering it home, still keeping the rate up as high as he can. He's shortened up again, but he's off the wave and Keelan is on it.
But I think Keelan is getting closer to him.
Yes,
he
Keelan
found this wave that Adam missed. Keelan Mannix is getting closer. It's not over yet. It's last meet is gonna be very, very exciting in that 8th run of the Coastal Men solo.
Keelan has got that
They
wave.
are even right now.
He is surfing it all the way home. So this is going to be a very, very tight finish. Who can exit first?
We are now looking for the clean landing. It can be very, and Adam does it nicely.
Adam is out first.
Yeah, Adam is first. Adam is going to be first. Now sprint. All he has. Adam Bujnowski from Poland. But look at the time. Very fast. Very fast. Very nice and tight race between Adam Bujnowski and Keelan Mannix.
Very good performance. Both athletes, very fast time. And Adam there on the run, very fast runner. But we could see Keelan Mannix's rowing skills on the way home. He got up on top of that wave. He closed down a massive advantage to give himself a fighting chance coming into the beach. Very close finish by both athletes and very fast times also. And again, 2 young athletes for the future. Very good to see.
Yeah, Keelan Mannix was doing all he can, doing his best. We can see that Keelan Mannix knows how to surf. He knows how to find and catch the wave, and he done very, very nicely on the last straight line, but struggled some at the turning on the 3rd buoy. And it was the last run of the first knockout stage for the men. We are now moving to the mixed doubles.
Yes, and we just see a bit of rain coming down now, and we see people starting to take shelter. So the wind has picked up again slightly now, and we can see our camera crews everywhere now. We're covering everything from the rain shower.
Yeah, as I said, the weather gonna be tricky today because the wind is getting stronger. Look at the waves; they are getting bigger and bigger every second. So now, the technical part might be the more experienced place for more experienced athletes who know how to deal with the strong high waves on the last meters, because now look at that, at least twice bigger than they were about 15 minutes ago.
Yes, and we're now onto the mixed doubles. So as the doubles have got,
and look who's on the start list on the lane number one, our old friend Joel Naukarinen with Lida Niemi from Finland on the lane one. On the lane two, alongside them we were faced by representing Lithuania, Martina Klausaskite and Dominikas Jansionis. Joel, he is proving that he is inevitable. He is massive. He is really, really good athlete. He is not afraid of starting in multiple times during one day.
Yes, I think he has rode more kilometers than any other athlete over the last 3, 4, 5 days.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, he started 3 times in endurance. That gives you 18 kilometers. One day before that, you had to cover another 4 kilometers in the qualifications, and this is his second start over there for him in about half an hour, maybe something like that.
Half an hour, just the bare amount of time for recovery. But I think for an athlete like him, older athlete, it's a good way to warm up. You know, you'll always feel better in the second run. So I think we have 2 very strong crews here starting off, Lithuania and Finland, to start it off.
Yeah, looking forward. The first knockout stages for solos are now done. Now it's time for the mixed. In about few minutes, as we are now waiting, the last preparations are being made. The boats, last adjustments. The boat handlers are getting ready to put these boats on place.
Yeah, and we see the boat manufacturers also, they have a lot of work to do with these events, the manufacturers, because you have all seats, you have rails, you have all these kind of things that have to be serviced during the race. Fins as well too. Sometimes the fins come off on the beach exit, so they have to be repaired quickly. There's not much time to do all these jobs, so the manufacturers have a tough job to do as well on days like this. So we're just hoping that the rain stays away. There was a couple of drops there, but we're just hoping that it stays away now for the rest of the event.
Yeah, we are waiting for the mixed doubles. In the first run, Ida Niemi and Joel Naukarinen representing Finland will be facing Martina Kauzoskaite and Dominikas Jansis. Both teams are experienced, but the Martina from Lithuania is slightly younger, but her partner is highly experienced, Dominikas Jansionis.
Yes, and as we say, we have a number of young athletes as well, but these young athletes are even highly experienced at this stage. And when you're talking about the Olympics in LA and say Brisbane, even in Brisbane 32, these athletes are still only all going to be in their 20s. So you will have athletes with years of experience.
And the youngsters already showed what they are capable of. Not just to mention, it was Jerry Owen who performed very well, overtaking Fikara in the first knockout stage. It was, as we said, Jerry very young athlete, but he performed very nicely on that rowing part, especially founding that wave very smoothly, surfing. And I think the waves on the back home are gonna be a nightmare for Fikara when the Miramon Lassien Baleta found that wave that gave him speed boost that let him put left behind Fikara. Now Jay Owen did just the same thing as Miramon last year.
Yes, and Jerry Owen is he's an athlete who's won the medals in endurance. I remember he came over to the Irish Champs in 2018, and he was only a junior, and he took a bronze medal. And sea conditions were far worse at that championship than they are here. The waves were 5-6 meters, and strong wind, and he mastered all that sea at that young age. So, as you say, he's done very well to be able to take out Giovanni, because he's a top athlete and also a member of the Italian flatwater elite high performance unit. So We see the athletes here now getting ready for the mixed double. There's about 3 doubles on either side, so that gives the crews a chance to fix the seats. Sometimes athletes like higher seats. Definitely fix the foot stretchers. There's always these last minute adjustments that have to be made before the racing starts. Yeah. Are we up? Are we up?
Minutes, we start the mixed competition. Numerous depois minutos empezamos con la competición mixta.
Winners obviously go into the quarterfinals, and we see the interesting choices of who runs and who doesn't at the start or at the finish. So for this race, we have both the women are doing the running at the start of the race. A rule came in this year where one has to do one, and either the woman does the run in and the man the run out, or vice versa. Whereas in previous times, it was possible for the same person to do both. So both women are stroking the mixed doubles, and both women are doing the run in. So we'll see how this new rule develops now with the restriction on who can run.
1 minute.
I think it makes it even when both man and woman need to cover this running part. So for the start, representing Finland, Lida Niemi gonna face Martina Kazlauskie from Lithuania. Finland lane 2, Lithuania lane Finland lane 1, Lithuania lane 2. And the partners are already preparing the boats with bow handlers, getting to the water.
Yeah, so the rule is that the partners in the boat, they cannot get into the boat until the flag drops up here as well. So they have to be careful to make sure that they are not half in the boat when the flag is dropped, and also they have to be able to hear the buzzer. So
What a
Lithuania.
start from Martina from Lithuania. Very, very strong and fast sprint to the boat.
Off to an absolute flyer of a start is Lithuania, and I think they are going to be up and running ahead of Finland, just caused by that run at the start. And yes, we can see Lithuania are off, and not only a fast runner but a very fast stroker on the mixed double as well too. Just a small clip on the first marker going out, but I think Lithuania are very high stroke rate, 40 at least, and it looks like they have control of the race already at this early stage. So a lot of work left for Joel to come back into the race.
Yeah, but Joel proved how strong he is, how strong he can pull. The waves are tricky, the waves are pulling them away. Oh, now on the left hand side into the buoy. Look how on the lane number 1 the Finland is struggling with the high waves.
Yes, and we even saw there on the marker going out again, Lithuania clipped the second marker going out, but it didn't stop their momentum. So maybe it was a plan by them that they would go through the marks with the riggers and keep a straight line. They're turning the mark already, and Finland are still coming up to that
Lithuanian
mark.
team already at the third turning point. Dominikas and Martina are spinning around the buoy, very, very widely, maintained a lot of speed, and I think they are in a very, very good position before that last round, last straight line.
Yeah, I think that they set down a marker at the start with the run. By Marta's run into the boat and exit. It was done so fast that it gave them the advantage, and they were to settle down then.
But they need some corrections on their course because they were going too wide. So let's look at the Joel and the Finland side, how they deal with the waves. Yeah. But Lithuania doing it very smoothly, moving very, very nicely, making their way home.
Yes, and it's an interesting tactic, because when you think about it there, if you have the woman going down the beach first, it then allows the man in the bow to come up and do the more difficult uphill run at the end. So I think you will see a lot of that where the woman is running down into the boat and stroking the boat. But I think Marta's done a fantastic job on the stroke seat there, fast, high stroke rate, and she's surfing down the back of that wave all the ways into the beach, and it looks like they will have a very easy entry because the pressure is not so much on them.
Massive lead over the Finland side on the lane 2. Lane 1, lane 2, Dominikas, Jan Tionis and Martina Kazowskin, and Dominikas already crossing the finish line in front of Joel. Joel has already started as the Janikas was on the finish line. Joel started run, so very, very smooth run from them.
We know these high performance athletes, obviously very, very intelligent people, think about everything they're doing, and even in the heat of competition in championship knockout like this, they're thinking all the time, do I run fast? Do I have to run fast? Can I just jog? Am I okay? Do I have to row really hard? So they're thinking ahead about what to do next.
Yeah, it's part of tactics, as we say, because this is semi-finals, finals in front of them, so they need to save some power. And now next start in front of us, Spain versus Ireland again. Ronan Byrne and Monika Dukarska, lane 2, closer to us near the pier, and on the lane number 1 representing Spain, Juan Lola Garcia and Domingo Ander Martin. Very young team, Martin and Garcia, against Dukarska and Byrne. Dukarska highly experienced, Ronan very, very high, very, very strong athlete. As we spoke yesterday in the time trials, they did extremely well, Dukarska and Byrne, and we are looking forward what they're capable of when they're gonna show us today.
Yes, Ronan Byrne and Monika, like we said, two very tall, very powerful athletes, reigning world champions in the mixed double and the endurance, but they really have their hands full here now in this round up against Ander Martin, who is probably one of the most decorated athletes. He won the endurance and the beach sprint world championship in San Sebastian, and if they can come through this round, they will have a good spot for the quarter final. But Ronan is doing the run into the boat to give as much advantage as they can in the start.
The boats are in the water, the athletes are on the line. It started Ronan versus Garcia. they started, and let's take a look.
And it looks like both are getting into the boat
I
roughly
think Spain,
together.
Spain was first to the boat. They're
And-
getting that strokes, but Dukarska and Ronan are very strong. We're gonna see if they are able to catch them up.
Yes, it looks like Spain are out in front already. They had a better entry, slightly cleaner entry. But as we said, Ronan and Monique, very strong, powerful athletes. They will be,
powerful, but I think they are going very wide. They need to take sharp turn after that buoy number 1 to the buoy number 2. But look at the race, how tricky they are, how Spain is fighting hard against them to make their good course on the second buoy, on the left-hand side one, in the middle of the course.
Yeah, Spain are definitely rating higher and rowing that bit shorter, just trying to keep driving the boat into the waves and keep away from that marker. So both crews are safely around the mark. I think definitely that Ronan and Monica have pulled up a bit of ground that was lost in the start maybe. So the rounding will be very interesting now to see who can come around the fastest.
As we again went off our commentary box to see that on our own eyes, I think they are really even right now.
Yeah, I know that when Andrew is going around the buoy, he likes to hit it dead straight and then try and come around it. So Spain have hit the mark first, and Ireland is just coming around now in second place.
Yeah, they are going very, very tight to the buoy, as my front point of view. But representing Spain team is already on their way back. Martin and Garcia in front of Dukarska and Byrne from Ireland, but it's still open. If Dukarska and Byrne find their wave, they can catch them up, they can serve to the end, to the finish.
Yeah, they're doing really well. They've really improved from yesterday's times for sure. And Spain is in front all right on the way home, but it's again, as we saw with Keelan Mannix in the last race, if you can catch that wave and surf it, all of a sudden you have 3 lengths. And I think Ireland have caught a wave at the moment. We can see the bows of the boat going down into the wave and surfing, so I think this is going to be a very close finish if they can stay on top of that wave.
I think the Spain is up front for about a length also, but they are now making corrections, finding that nice angle, gonna land perfectly near the flag. But Dukarska and Ben gonna be, but they need to correct a bit to the pier to make themselves. But the Spaniards are already on the
And we
beach.
see a perfect exit by Andrew Martin, very athletic for a big man, and he was out of that boat quickly. And again, jogging to the line, conserved energy. But very well done by Monica Dukarska and Ronan Byrne, up against a world champion, and they are within a couple of seconds of them. So fantastic performance also by the Irish crew. And as we saw the Spanish crew, world champions, and you can see the class, you can see their experience as well.
Yeah, very, very nice race for both teams. But the Spanish makes it through. Martin and Garcia playing still. Dukarska and Byrne unfortunately not gonna make it, but really nice race, tight one.
Yes, and again it was just at the start there we saw the Spanish crew getting away just that little bit quicker, which gave them, a length or two. And we saw Andrew Martin, he has a very unusual technique for rounding the marks in endurance and in beachments. He likes to hit it hard with the rigger and then swing around on it, and it works for him, So Spain advanced to the quarterfinals, and we have some real quality coming up in the next round as well. So every round we are seeing these highly experienced international athletes, decorated athletes, and in the next round here we
are on the European Rowing Coastal Championship, so every race needs to be interesting. Very, very good athletes on the start race, and we are moving now to the next race of the Coastal Mixed Double Sculls. In lane 2, representing Great Britain, Laura Mackenzie and Sam Scrimmager, against representing Belgium on lane 1, Union Mighty against Tyson Frederick. Very, very interesting race in front of us.
Yes, and unusual here again. So the men are running into the boat, so you have the power of the man on the stroke seat, but that leaves the woman then with a more difficult run up the beach. But Sam and Laura, very, very good combination. They were second in the World Championships last year and experienced as well. They've done a lot of racing. We can see Sam down there in the sprinter position. He looks like he is at the athletics more so than the rowing.
But as we've seen in previous races, reigning champions, vice champion, bronze medalists are not always gonna make to the last round. Every race has its own history. Look at that, what a sprint from Great Britain, from
Very
Sam.
good.
Very, very impressive, like a bullet. He started very, very quickly, and very, very clean entrance. Nice few strokes.
Yes, I think that Great Britain got the advantage on the start there, and they
Yeah,
are
about a
rating
half
it.
of about our land.
Yes.
Also at the start, very, very impressive start from Sam Scrimmager and Laura Mackenzie, being in advantage on the first buoy in front of Union Mighty and Tyson Frederick.
Yes, you can see there their stroke rate there, at least 3 to 4 strokes a minute higher in the British boat. Laura Mackenzie, very, very powerful athlete as well too, and in the trials and the selection, she is head and shoulders the strongest athlete for this beach sprinting. But Belgium are hanging on, doing very well. They have a big correction to make here at this second mark,
Yeah, and
unfortunately.
they barely make it. Mackenzie and Scrimmager made it better, and they are proving that they are very, very strong team, and everyone should be afraid of them, should be look at them. Laura Mackenzie, Sam Scrimmager now at the third buoy at the spin around, and that's gonna take a look how they're gonna do that. They are going very, very wide.
very
on the-
wide, very, very wide
I
altogether.
think it's too wide. I think
they're opening the door for Belgium to.
they didn't want to do it as wide. I think the wind that got stronger in a second made that difficult, but they are still able to secure that lead over the Belgium team, Union Mighty and Tyson Frederick. So still Laura Mackenzie and Sam Scrimmager are in it. And now look at that, how comfortable, very, very nice cadence, very nice touches, but the Belgium is really close to them.
Yeah, I think the Great Britain crew opened the door at the rounding. They had a good, solid advantage of maybe 3 lengths, but they have dropped about 2 lengths in the rounding and allowed Belgium to be able to see their stern. So Belgium, even though they are behind, I think that Great Britain has just caught a wave now, which has given them a bit of an advantage again, but they did open the door there for a little bit to the Belgian crew.
Yeah, as we said, this is beach sprint. Very, very short distance, very, very high cadence, very high speed. One small mistake can cost you second, that's gonna cost you to be or not to be. But Mackenzie and Scrimmager are proving that they are very, very good at the double, and they are leading very, very nicely over Belgium's gonna land first, and the Laura, I think, gonna secure a spot for them in the next stage.
Yes, Laura's out of the boat already. Clean exit out of the boat, and she's jogging up the beach. She's running hard actually, making sure of it. But that was the
Very
experience.
nice result for
Yes.
them. And Laura Mackenzie and Sam Scrimmager making the spot in the quarters later. That them as the Union Mighty and Tyson Frederick unfortunately weren't able to compete with them. Really, really nice race. Very joy
Yes.
to watch.
And I
Since
think
the beginning, as Sam started very rapidly on the beach, they picked up an early advantage, and they didn't let the Belgium team to catch up.
yes, and I think after that race now they will probably reflect and they will say, yes, we did very well on the exit entry rowing, but we must definitely look at our turn to make sure that we can gain those 2 lengths back at the turn, staying closer to the mark and come around that bit quicker. So I think there's definitely a lot more in the Great Britain crew in the last 8 when they go forward.
Yeah, and it's time for next start of mixed doubles cars in European Rowing Coastal and Beach Sprint Championships. Starting on the lane 2 will be representing Italy Federico Cesarino and Silvia Trippi, and they will be facing representing Germany Anne Christian Fenning and Aaron Fuchs.
Yes,
On the start, on the first spot, Federico against Anne against Federico. Both very, very young athletes. They're gonna try to start, I think, rapidly, perfectly timed to pick that early advantage. But accompanying Anne, Aaron Fuchs is very, very strong one, very massive athlete, highly muscular. I think if he's gonna pull 1 or 2 strokes, they're gonna catch up the speed very, very quickly.
yeah, and it's hard work to keep those doubles straight now. They catch a lot more wind than the singles, obviously, but the handlers are having a hard job to do to keep the boats in a straight line before the athletes get in.
Yeah, the wind is changing. It's stronger for about few minutes, and again going a bit weaker. And the athletes are ready as we are.
Attention.
And here we have
perfectly timed start for both Federico and Anne. I think Anne is on her way to enter the boat faster, but now take a look.
Yes, Federico is struggling trying to get his feet in, but I think he did. I think his run in the start has definitely given them maybe half a length or a length of an advantage. So I think having the man doing the run down on this one may pay off if they have enough of a lead. And I think Germany is off the seat. She's looking very uncomfortable there. I think she's off the seat. So very hard luck for Germany there. That is Anne has just come off her seat and she's not giving it up. She's rowing away without the seat. And
yeah, but trying, they are doing the best they can. Aaron and Anne representing Germany to catch up to Federico and Silvia from Italy, that they are now up in front, and very nicely, very smoothly on the second turn. This part of Germany who are struggling to make it, and they barely make it, but they are going very, very wide. It needs a lot of correction before the buoy number 3.
Yes, and great credit due to Anne there in the stroke seat. Very young competitor, young girl, and she managed to cope with the run down the beach, trying to cope with the seat coming off, and she's still rowing.
Once again, Italy going very, very wide, so the waves must be very tricky. The conditions are challenging, and we can clearly see that it's open gap for Germany. But no, Italy, massive leading right now. Federico Cesarino and Silvia Trippi. It will be about 3 or 4 lengths. So
yeah, they're pulling very hard there now as well. But if they can find the wave and relax, then they will be able to surf home. And just very hard luck in Germany there to have to try and get that seat back up onto them. And 10-15 strokes rowing without a seat is very difficult.
Yeah, Federico Cesarino and Silvia Trippi from Italy are on the lead of the Coastal Mixed Doubles Cars knockout round number 4.
Yeah.
Securing a spot in the quarters. I think now Silvia, who is gonna make that last round, gonna make it comfortable slowly without rushing to save some power. Look at that, they are very, very loose, very, very smoothly moving to the beach, to the shore.
Yeah, they're rowing the boat very, very nicely now. Nice and clean exit, clean entry. Was Germany, unfortunately, with the seat problems, they are unable to row properly due to not having a seat under them, but they are still giving everything they have. They're not giving up because they know that one accident up ahead and they could, even without a seat, they could take advantage.
Yeah, as I said a minute ago, a beach sprint is very tight on very short distance, so every second can play a big role, and that seat that Anne missed played a huge role because she couldn't make herself comfortable on the boat, and Silvia Trippi and Federico Cesarino from Italy secured the spot, but Aaron goes hard. Aaron goes really, really hard to the finish line.
Yeah, very, very powerful athlete, great performance, and just so unfortunate that they just could not get the chance to compete properly. But unfortunately with beach sprints, if an oar hops out of the gate, if a seat comes off, or if you fall off a seat, unfortunately there's no opportunity for a recall. It's a very much gladiator style sport, and once the buzzer goes, that's it.
Yeah, the small difficulties with the seat may played a huge difference in the race we witnessed. But Anne and Aaron from Germany are both very, very young, so still a lot of time for them. The experience they gained today is not gonna be for nothing. They gonna make a lesson, learn a lesson from that. They're gonna pay off in the future. But now we are moving to the knockout number 5 on Coastal Mixed Doubles Cars, and it will be between France and Croatia. Paula Girotto and Mato Brandt from Croatia on the lane 2 against Chloe Biard and Matthijs Notele from France. As I remember correctly, Chloe and Matthijs were the ones from the mixed who overtake on the beach sprint on the endurance on the Friday Joel Freeland, making the navigation pretty impressive, straight to the line that Joel missed that landing and left that gate open for Matthijs to sneak in to get that golden medal out of his hands.
Yeah, and it shows you even after all those kilometers of rowing and all the strokes that have been pulled, it can come down to just that last bit at the very finish. So for these crews, we have both the women are doing the run down into the boat, And as we saw there, if you can pull out a length with your run down at the start, it gives you a massive advantage in terms of how to settle and how to get your navigation, how to relax.
Yeah, Chloe and Paula and Chloe going even.
Very fast runners, aren't
very,
they?
very
Both of them are
fast.
fast.
But I think France, Chloe made it faster and she joined Matthias in a boat and they started few strokes, very, very nicely clean start, and they catch the speed very nicely. Yeah, length over a length and a half, maybe leading for Chloe and Matthias from France over the Paula and Mato from Croatia.
Yeah, I think they had a very clean entry into the boat, and the handlers worked very well to give them a smooth push off. Sometimes with the handling you have to keep the boat level also because an oar can get stuck, so the handlers very calm, very cool, obviously experienced, and the French crew are really rating it as hard as they can to keep their advantage over the Croatian
They are moving
crew.
very nice correction, very nice navigation. They are moving very smoothly against those waves that are trying to push them back to the beach. They are in the lead, Chloe Braillard and Matthias Notele from France.
Yeah, so we noticed they're not even finishing the strokes out. They're rushing it ahead as fast as they can to catch the next stroke, because going to the wind, going to the waves, they need to stay ahead of Croatia, who are closing on them. So the turn is going to be vital.
Close. So it's going to happen right now. Who is gonna cover the spin better? Who is gonna fight that straight line easier? As less strokes as you can to the straight. And Chloe and Matthias very nicely, better than Mato and Paula, but they are not far away. If they will be able to find a wave, they still can catch up.
Yes, I think the Croatia are not finished at all. The Croatian crew are a very strong crew, and we can see there now they have caught a wave and they have closed the gap right up. So this race is far from over at the moment. French had a good lead coming in, but the Croatian crew are just one wave away from closing the gap right up on them, and I think they have.
Yeah, they are surfing very nice for Croatia. Mato Brandt and Paula Giotto trying to overtake Chloe Braillard and Matthias Notele, but still slightly, but very slightly leading. I think that now Croatian team is now on the lead.
Yes.
They surfed really well on that straight line, found their wave.
France are surfing now at the moment as well, but I think Croatia have done enough on the surfing to give themselves a fighting chance on the beach. So there's very little who can exit these boats cleanly now. We see Croatia now on the exit.
Will be very tight, but very clean,
Very clean.
very perfect.
But I think France is a fast runner though. France is a very fast runner.
But yeah, it will be very
It
close.
is on the run.
Oh my God!
Very
Who
fast.
pushed the button first? I think it was France, but I'm not sure. But
Yes.
very close. I think Matthias in front of Mato, but very nice.
Yes, and that's heartbreak for the Croatian crew because they did so much work to regain the lead and they surfed, they did everything correctly and got out of the boat cleanly, but it was on the run. The French were just that quicker on the run, and you could see there it must be maybe a couple of tenths of a second.
Yeah,
The closest
and
race of the day so far.
once again, Matthias makes it for him on the run. Once again, second time during this week in Gdansk, Poland, during European Rowing Coastal and Beach Sprint Championships. And we are now moving forward to the next run. Who is gonna take a part? Let's take a look. It'll be between Austria and... Oh, sorry. I think it will be... Yeah,
Poland
against Portugal. Małgorzata Król and Łukasz Zub for Poland on lane number 2 against Claudio Rodriguez and Patricia Batista. Patricia, as I remember, competed in the solo earlier on. For Portugal, they are on the lane number 1.
Yes, and she did very well earlier this morning as well. Very strong athlete and did everything right, navigated, etc. So here we have a mix of the man and the woman running into the boat. Conditions are definitely picking up more and more as the day goes on. You can see it there. The wind is blustery and the waves are definitely getting bigger out there.
Yeah, Król fires Rodriguez as the first part of run. Łukasz Zub and Patricia Batista are gonna wait for them in the boats. Boats are being prepared. Małgorzata and Patricia are already ready on the start line. Małgorzata is correcting the position of the boat before the start, making everything perfect.
Yeah, she is taking no chances. She is very focused.
Very, very focused one.
And she is also a fast runner also. So
Attention.
if she can get down to the boat level and get in quickly, she will give Poland a massive chance in this event.
But Patricia really proved how strong she is. And I think it's for the Claudio. Claudio, yeah,
Claudio has a
massive,
big
rapid
advantage.
start,
Yeah.
massive lead, getting to the boat first. And now, take a look at that.
And superb work by his handlers also. His handlers got him into the boat, got him away. But even with that advantage, it has given him maybe close to a length advantage. And Portugal are racing it as high as they can now to hold on to that advantage.
Yeah, very high cadence, very, very short and quick strokes of the blades touching the water to make speed up as fast as you can. Catch the speed, catch that rhythm, and stick to that. About a lane advantage, as the David accompanying me said,
Yes.
as they are approaching another buoy. But I think they are missing some. They are going very. Oh, that's part of a plan. Going wide, maintain some speed.
Yes, and Poland have just hit the mark there, which
Yeah.
is going to cost them a bit. I see Portugal have gone from the fast stroke and lengthened it out a slight bit once they've been ahead, but Poland are still persisting with the shorter, snappier stroke, but it seems to be getting them up to the mark, level, well, not level, but slightly back from the
I think Polish
Portuguese.
side gonna take that boy very aggressively, very tight, going to try to make that gap closer, stick together, stick close to Claudio and Patricia. Oh no, they are going wide. And Patricia and Claudio very, very nicely, smoothly close,
Yes.
and about 2 lengths advantage right now for them.
And Portugal, as well as doing a very good rounding, they cut away immediately after the rounding, which has propelled them even further forward. But Poland are doing very well, though. Even with that rounding, they're still hanging on to them. So there's about maybe a boat length and about a half length of water, so it's a very open race still.
Yeah, Portuguese team doing very, very nicely, but they are going wide. They need to a bit correct, as Łukasz and Małgorzata seems to be in better straight line. That's maybe be a gate for them, a gap, as it's gonna be race on the end between Łukasz and Patricia. You're gonna see who is a better sprinter, but now it's advantage for Claudia and Patricia from Portugal. It's last meters, about 50 or so until they hit the shore, the maximum point.
Yes, Patricia on the bow seat of the Portuguese crew. She has navigated in for the beach, but the Polish crew, with the shorter, snappier stroke, have really closed the gap.
It will be another big sprint finish. We are looking for that. They are really close to each other. Claudia is on the beach. Łukasz is trying to overtake Claudia, but Claudia is gonna secure that. Claudia Rodriguez and Patricia Batista securing their spot in the quarters.
Yes, we saw Patricia in the solo, very, very quick runner, and she needed to be every bit as quick as she was there to hold off the challenge from Poland.
But look at Łukasz, how tight he is. He showed he done everything he can. They
Yes.
are working very, very hard. Małgorzata Król and Łukasz Zub, but unfortunately they didn't make it. Claudio Rodriguez and Patricia Batista moving forward.
Yes, and it was a very, very impressive performance by the Polish crew. They had a lot of disadvantage and they refused to accept second place. They kept pushing hard. And in their finish time there, you can see the finish time is quick, 2:42, and they're just 2 seconds off it.
Yeah, it was fight until the end. They were Portuguese were leaning before the first running part after the water, but at the end, right at the end, before they're reaching the shore, Polish side catched up and made it very, very tight. Now we are moving for the next race between Austria and Czechia. For Czechia, Ales Suski, I remember correctly, vice European champion, was overtaken by Giovanni Ficara last year, and accompanying him Lucy Heranova. She is gonna run as first against Austria. Chiara Halama and Yuri Sushek. Yuri was with us on Friday doing a show with David on commentating last 2 races of endurance. Now he's gonna take a part. We wish both teams all the best. The weather conditions are tricky. Look at that, there must be rain going on over there because we cannot see another shore of the Gdansk city, which we can clearly see on the Friday when the weather was way, way better.
Yes, Yuri, one of Coastal Rowing's great characters. And he has moved into the beach sprint side of rowing this year. No endurance for him this weekend. And same with Chiara. She is also a champion in the endurance, but she is strictly on beach sprint duty this weekend. So two very strong crews here, and the wind has just picked up just as these athletes are trying to board the boats. So we can see the handlers trying to keep the boat straight and steady for them as they come down the beach. And the race starter.
What a silence!
The
Yeah,
race
and
starter
they
is able to hold it.
started Lucy against Chiara, Chiara against Lucy.
And I think Chiara's just slightly in front, but Lucy is very agile into the boat quickly. Done very well there for Chechi, and the handlers have got them away nicely.
I think they are really even. I think Czechia has a better angle, gonna be an advantage in a while for about half of lane or something like that ahead of Austria. But we're gonna see in a while when the point of view gonna change from the drone.
Yeah, I think
they are even. They are even. I think Austria is slightly up front, but not a bit.
Slightly, yes. I think Yuri had to make a slight steering correction there at the start, and Chiara's normally on the longer stroke, but she shortened it up there to give them that bit of extra power to sprint it out. So I think it's pretty even at the moment.
Very, nearly perfect navigation. It's gonna be very tight to the buoy. Look at that, they are slightly touched that. Hopefully they didn't lose their rhythm, and they didn't. But Czechia is sticking close to them about length or so, yeah, length and a half maybe, leading for Austria team Kiala Halama and Yuri Susiak as they are approaching the turning point, the spin. Gonna take a look as the Czechia side is slightly more experience.
Yeah, so if Yuri can get the boat spinning and not go so wide, I think Czechia have gone wider than Austria. So
yeah, wide that up, so clean turn for both of them, setting their destination point, setting on the straight line to the home. And now for me it's Czechia up front.
Yes, I think Austria really got stuck on the mark there trying to come out of it, but you notice there with Czechia, they have set the footboards very close up to the bow, and they're barely getting the oars ahead, and all the rowing is done at the back end of the stroke. So very unusual angles there, but it seems to be working for them, because Austria will now have to work their way back into this race, which they are doing.
Very close to each other. Catching or missing one wave can change everything. And look at that, I think the Austria side are better on that serving, are now going front of Alex Suskin, Lucy Helnova from Czechia. It can be another big sprint finish. Look at that, how tight it's gonna be, and I think they're gonna stay together next to each other until the end.
Czechia just cut the mark there with the oar. I think that might have distracted them slightly, but I think Czechia were slightly in front, but after tipping that marker they could have knocked themselves back. They did. They knocked themselves back about quarter of a length. And Yuri is turning around for the beach. He's very agile, very quick to come out of the boat, so he knows it's in his hands now to hold off the challenge.
Yuri gonna be first. Very check. They are even. Yuri and Yuri Susiak, Alex Suski. Alex Suski, Yuri Susiak, Alex Suski from Czechia. What a showman, what a finish. But look at that beautiful pictures of sportsmanship. They know it was just less than a second. They are very even.
It was a brilliant performance by both crews. I see Austria just had that bit of trouble coming out of the mark on the way home, but they really made up that ground and rode very well coming home. I think both boats were definitely surfing for a lot of it coming home, but that final sprint out, Alice did the work on the sprint.
Look at that, just a second apart them. A second, Austria lose to represent Czechia, but I think Austria can be proud of their performance. They did extremely well, but Alex Suski with that show off, taking his cap off, the finish was man of the match. Now we are moving forward to the next race in the double sculls. On the lane number 1, representing Netherlands, we have Martie Damen and Sjot Sheper against representing Slovenia in line 2, Marko Bohe and Pia Music.
So we can see both athletes behind her just warming up for the race. So we have with the Netherlands, we have very tall athlete from the Netherlands as is per usual.
It's Sjot Sheper, young one, 23 years of age, against I think Pia Music, but as you said, Sjot very tall. I think these long legs can make a difference on this first part as he gonna take to the to the boat, but I think representing Netherlands, Matti Damen is also very, very tall. So I expect from them very, very strong, very, very hard long pulls on the beginning to get speed out of the boat.
Yes, and it's interesting. Netherlands are using very young athletes for these events now, and they're trying to develop a squad probably for LA as well too, which is very interesting.
They are still doing very, very nice so far. They
Yes.
collected multiple medals during endurance races on Friday, and they are looking forward to take some big streams for them too. And
So-
really nice start, and they are even for
Yeah,
now.
I think Netherlands has slight advantage.
But really, very
not much
really
though.
slight. But I think now Pia, being a shorter one, can have a better position going to the boat. But Netherlands up front, but really close, tight one. I think the Slovenia had a better rhythm since the beginning, going up front over them.
And we can see there Slovenia on half stroke as well too. A lot of crews are utilising this method to try and get the boat speed up, but I think Netherlands have already lengthened out and are using their height to lever the oars. And I think Netherlands seem to be just easing themselves slightly into the lead with their length and power, as
Yeah.
opposed to the slower, the faster, shorter stroke that Slovenia are employing.
Yeah, Netherlands, both athletes are very, very tall, very, very strong. They are pulling very long strokes on the low cadence, despite of Slovenia going shorter and higher cadence, and it pays off for Slovenia side being in front for about a length advantage right now, as they are pass through the second buoy, approaching to the spin.
Yeah, Slovenia still haven't lengthened out. They're still on half stroke, but it seems to be working for them. You know, they seem to be able to get to that mark first. I think they'll be taking the mark slightly in front of
They
Netherlands.
are taking it now ahead of Netherlands. They are going wide, but I think that they are struggling.
Netherlands are
Another
really
team,
struggling.
Look how every team is going wide. The conditions must be very challenging at the turning point, as almost every team in the last race is struggling with that. But Slovenia doing nicely about our length on the last straight line, 2,500 meters of rowing. After that, a big sprint. Slovenia, Pia Music and Marco Boha in front of Netherlands, Stuart Shepherd and Marty Damen.
Yeah, I think that shorter stroke that Slovenia are using is really working. They're up on top of the wave, surfing, and the boat is moving well.
Yeah, I think Netherlands are slightly closer to the Slovenia. Oh no, it depends on point of view. Now you can see Slovenia up front, but still some space, still some time for Netherlands to catch up. But I think Slovenia gonna secure the spot. They are navigating very, very nicely to straight at the point.
Yeah, you can see there Netherlands are on a wave now surfing, but Slovenia unfortunately are also on a wave as well too. So very well done by Slovenia. Very, very clean rowing, and the exit was perfect. So
And Marco is off the boat right now on the beach, making his run to the finish line. Marco Boha for Slovenia and Pia Music making it to the quarters in front of representing Netherlands, Siet Shepherd and Marty Damen.
yeah, so it's interesting approach by Netherlands. They will develop these young athletes now over the next year or two, and this is maybe a starting point for them. So they are thinking ahead as the sport is developing, and we will definitely see these young athletes in the next year or two.
Adam Bujnowski powalczy o awans do półfinału. Kolejny wyścig o 12:30.
Yeah, it seems like it's time for a short break. We'll be back in about an hour when the quarterfinals from under 19 men's solo start. In the first run, we're gonna have another Irish international, Jack Hehir, and I'm not sure you have pronounced that correctly, against representing Italy, Lucio Fugazotto. As I remember, Lucio is a very, very strong athlete, very, very fast one. So it will be very, very difficult race from Jack.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see now how they did. They were very close to the time trials yesterday, maybe a second between them. So from 1 all the way down to about 8, I think there was only literally a couple of seconds between these under 19 men. Yeah, Jack here won the trials. Very strong athlete, has really trained hard all winter long, sacrificed a lot for the sport, And
But if I remember correctly, Lucio Fogazotto from Italy is a reigning world champion under 19 from last year from Barletta, when on his own land he picked up that world champion title. For it will be gonna be very very tight for Jack. But as we've seen, it's everything can happen. Every race has its own history.
yes, and Jack has done a good bit of coastal rowing, so he's fairly well experienced at it, and I know he's done a lot of beach sprints training as well too. So, like you say, it's a big task up against the reigning world champion. But as we saw earlier with Dennis Gustafsson, he just went out and he gave
And
everything.
now we can take a look about the schedule, what's going on later this afternoon when we will move to the quarter semi-finals and then finals. So still a lot of in front of us, a lot of emotions, a lot of we expect very very tight and good races. We had witnessed it so far. In the next stages it's gonna be even better, I expect.
Yeah, so this is the business end of it now, the last 8. So you see in the flat water it is the last 6 in the A final, whereas with coastal rowing beach sprints it is the last 8. So you have 3 races kind of on top of each other. There's not much time to recover, not much time to do anything. So it's about the recovery. Can the athlete recover from the quarter final for the semi?
So the wind getting stronger, the windy and very cloudy, but as we can see on the horizon, it's getting better. I mean, maybe we're gonna see how the conditions gonna change, because wind is very very strong. So we are looking for the changes of condition. We're gonna see how the team's gonna deal with that. Maybe some tricky waves can appear. We are really looking forward to that, because as I said, we are expecting a wind about 40 kilometers per hour.
Yes, definitely going to pick up as the evening goes on. You can see that happening. So the one thing I noticed about this event as well too, there's not very much between the crews. So maybe a couple of years ago you had maybe the top 2 or 3 and there was a big gap back, but now it's really closed up. And you will see in this last stage very very close racing. So we're looking forward to the afternoon's racing.
Yeah, very very interesting beach sprints that are going to be taken in LA 2028. We are looking forward what's gonna happen next this afternoon. In about an hour we'll be back with you on the under 19 men's solo quarterfinals, when Ireland gonna face Lucio. So see you later. Cheering for you, Piotr Crew. And
Yes, so luckily we start with the Irish crew again. We will try not to be biased in this commentary position, but we shall see you in an hour's time after lunch to begin the racing again.
yeah, be with us. Bye.